morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures, little change so far this morning, coming off another kind of muted session yesterday. We did see NASDAQ kind of lagging once again, tech stocks under pressure in the afternoon, specifically yesterday. More positive vaccine news coming out this morning as Moderna has said they have now collected enough data in their late stage trial to go ahead with analysis of that data and prepare for some sort of approval process for potential vaccine for COVID-19. That comes as the U.S. topped 10 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 yesterday. Certain cities throughout the U.S. as well, including New York, San Francisco, implementing certain economic restrictions and social restrictions once again, trying to cap off the spread of COVID-19. Individually this morning, EV makers to the upside in a big way. We had a couple of earnings reports from the space, specifically from Chinese makers. We'll have a look at XPeng and Li Auto. NIO also back towards all-time highs this morning. JD.com, Alibaba also back on watch, and Pinduoduo, big earnings report. Big earnings beat out aftermarket yesterday as well. It's Thursday, November 12th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. Bit of a mix showing here. You can see Shanghai back in positive territory after a big down day yesterday. Let's go over to Europe and have a look at how things are shaping up. Negative right across the board here, 1+% for Germany and France. Let's shift over to North America and see, a bit of a mix showing here. You can see the Dow 0.7% to the downside now. The NASDAQ back in positive territory, though. We move further down the list. You can see Brazil open already, trading in negative territory. Bitcoin higher this morning. We have crude oil and gold also both back in positive territory. Good morning, guys. It is Thursday. Busy morning once again. EV makers back in play, I guess, a better way to say that. But earnings coming out of the group this morning, specifically with those Chinese names. We've been talking about the Alibabas of the world, Pinduoduo, another big report as well.
Yeah, and look, obviously, we always talk about NIO and is the leader of the pack, but XPeng going to be on watch today. Li Auto also moving, I think, still a little bit higher than XPeng. If I want to look at it, that was actually tracing back to the downside even after that gap up. Same with the Chinese team. You mentioned Pinduoduo, big time run to the upside off for earnings, so that's going to be on watch. I just saw there was a halted name here, Acre. That looks like there's some kind of an M&A deal going on there. So we'll track that one as it opens up. Not really sure the full details, but it should be an exciting day today. Also, some names from yesterday going to be in play for me as well. I'll be looking at Revlon, and we're going to probably talk at least a little bit about some of the alternative energy names as well, because, after Plug and watching what the solar companies did yesterday, certainly should remain in play, Sean.
That always happens. So, yeah, we're going to be going nuts here today. Alibaba, really happy with the way that's performing, obviously, today. And thank you for the love on the haircut. We got it all faded out yesterday, so I think it's a pretty good look. We'll come with a lot of names today. I'm happy with Palantir. Earnings tonight, baby. So hopefully that doesn't go back down to where we're long at the $9 mark. Didn't take any off. The only piece we took off was $14.40. Here's the imbalance locator. A lot of people asking about that. We'll work on a solution to get this up for you guys maybe a little bit earlier, but the big dog at the top here, Palantir, NIO, XPEV, BABA, it just keeps going, gone. We'll show it soon, guys. Brendan.
All right, guys, lots to get through coming up this morning. Palantir back in positive territory. One of those names we'll have a look at coming up here. If you're joining us for the first time, good morning and welcome. Make sure you take a second, hit the like and subscribe so we can let you know every time we come on. Let's have a look at how traders here at Day Trade the World fared yesterday. Big day again yesterday. Coming out of Canada mostly here. Some U.S. markets there as well. 64,000. You can see the TSX top of the list on number 2 as well, 26,000. I got to go down to number 3 to get into Europe. Wow, someone traded a lot of Europe yesterday. 18,000 there at number 4, Helsinki, Milan, the Zitra in Germany as well, 18,000. So top 5 there of the top 10 list, all 5 figures. So a nice day once again for traders here at Day Trade the World. Let's have a look at what's coming up a little bit later on in the show this morning. 3 trade ideas you should know for earnings season. So we have different trade ideas throughout the year that we kind of pull out different times. This is a specific time of year, happens 4 times a year, obviously every quarter when companies report. These are 3 trade ideas that you can kind of go to during earnings season. Valeria will have the link for that video coming up a little bit later on, about 11:40 or 11:45. Speaking of Valeria, let's go over to the desk and say good morning to her.
Good morning, Brendan, and hey guys, happy trading day, everyone. Please support and subscribe to our channel, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brendan.
All right, yes, let's get it started. I mentioned Moderna there right off the top. Moderna saying that their late-stage trial for their potential vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine, has now gathered enough data that they can go ahead with a review panel of both the safety and the efficacy of this vaccine or potential vaccine. So Moderna getting a little bit here, guys, this morning on that news, 3%. This news came out after market yesterday. You can see, worth mentioning though, we did get a pop yesterday in general on the Pfizer BNTX kind of, or on the back of that news that came out early in the week.
Yeah, there was. I mean, you could read speculation already saying that this vaccine could also be just as effective. So the high bar has already been set in terms of expectations after Pfizer and BioNTech. But you know, the reality for me with this is that because the spike in cases, you obviously had more candidates that were gonna get corona. So I think this was not entirely unexpected that you'd have a faster endpoint. So I think that we're already seeing this out in the news. Obviously, a couple levels I would have been watching normally is at 87, 25, 30, that little top there, just to get that little buy into the high. I love the fact that it was already running up, then gapping on this news, so that fade play off of any sort of COVID vaccine off the open would have worked. Now I have to look to a different level. I'm looking a little bit lower here just because we had the big spike yesterday. So I will look at this 85, 86. If it does turn here off the open, get that nice little buy action, people, you know, waking up to the news and thinking it's a buy at 8:30, sort of 9:30. I'd try to sell off first off that 85, 80. I still like it off of 87 if I get a shot, but I'm going to be looking for that same pattern and try to sell it off on a rollover right at 9:30.
For Moderna, I like an $84 break on mRNA. Neil just went over it a little bit there, but I think that same thing happened with Pfizer, where we did sell off at upon basically the open there. So we saw what happened to Pfizer, and we'll kind of do the same thing. I don't think this is enough to break this out of here. Obviously, would have been a great little pickup down in the $60 range. We're well above the 50-period moving average on the daily chart, so there's something to be said there. And then here's 84. There's really no key levels here about 84, just that it's the even dollar. So if you really thought you liked it, 84.50, a little bit of a better short. That's been basically the low of the pre-market. So 84.50, 84. I'm definitely not going long this thing.
I was just checking out these Chinese electric vehicle makers, both XPEV and Li Auto to the upside this morning. XPEV, the one that reported. Li Auto, before market opens tomorrow, will report their earnings, but Li Auto actually leading as far as this group is concerned. To the upside, 6.7% though for XPEV. Report was great, pretty much right across the board. They beat. It was a smaller than expected loss. This is that acre that Neil was talking about there. Yeah, it looks like an offering, 9.8 million share offering at $1.85 per shares for that AKER. So we can touch on that. Yeah, we can.
I mean, that ends up not being as good as I thought.
Yeah, XPeng, guys, the earnings a little better than expected.
Yeah, I think you're crazy not to think about going long this name anywhere above 36. I mean, it's just going to break out here and then hopefully just keep skyrocketing to the high side. Look, EV space, we see what happened in NIO. We're going to see what happened with Li Auto. We're going to get to that soon. And it's just one of those days here. You're up another 6.5%. You could see what we did yesterday off the open, ramping straight up, like opening 30-ish. Down here and then going to 33. That's about 10% in the first couple minutes of action there. So I do think that something could be done again. Guys, if we could test Unity when you get a second, please. 36, thank you. 36.16 here to the upside. So I'm taking out anything new highs here. XPEV, buy the dips, take out breakouts, everything. I'm all over electric space, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I love this little pattern it has right here at that 36 price. You got like multiple tests in the pre-market. I'm going to go to one dip buy level for you guys here, just in case we get it. You look at the afternoon action, 33.65. Session before afternoon top 33.65. So you get that little bit of a target range. There was some chop in that dollar going into it. I think that's where any big flush on XPeng, I'm going to be looking to picking it up around that 33.65 in that dollar range in front of that price. Otherwise, you see that ramp at 36 and it sticks out like a sore thumb. It's broken a couple times in the pre-market and slid back down, but the open is a different story on volume.
Let's go to NEO, the next one here. JP Morgan increasing their price target to 46, so just another $1.50 or so away. We got up to that 44.5 kind of area early on this morning, which was all-time highs if you look at the daily chart. So another 1% plus for NIO, guys.
Yeah. So I see Dan there. People asking about some cannabis stocks. If I caught this move on ACB yesterday midday. Here's a 680 break right there midday, and yeah, we got out 770. Our best out was actually 820, and we'll show you why. But there we go. We tweeted that out yesterday. That's ACB. You guys asking about it, and there it is. So we did tweet that out yesterday. That we did catch that ACB. So Weed Batman in the building yesterday afternoon and during the show, guys. So Weed Batman will come back today. NEO, the same story is always going to be true for this one. We went in and out. We were testing some software, so I think it might show me down 1 penny or so. In and out here, just testing to make sure we're fine. $44 the top. If you look at a daily chart here for NEO, you know, we're just high right now. Like we're high up. I don't know if it's going to break one way or the other. I would rather trade XPEV today or Li Auto, which we're going to get to, just based on some of the earnings and some of the report. But hey, look, if the space goes, NEO's going to go as well. And I don't think there's anything wrong with going through $44 even. I'm going to show quickly, see if it's on here. Yeah, see, it's a bid again. So NEO, XPEV, both here. Strong bids with my big dog up here, Palantir. So right now, I do like NEO to go long through 44. You do have some stopping spots here, 44.25 and whatnot. And then yesterday, you just see, like, it's just a ramp up, man. Look at the open. Down, builds a base, and then takes off. So very similar to XPEV yesterday. We'll look for the same in NEO. But hey, guys, I mean, the EV space, already 5 million shares. You saw the imbalances. It's going to be an exciting one today.
Yeah, I mean, Li Auto, we'll just jump right over to it. They report, I think it's before they open tomorrow. So look, it's going to be, it's already made a bit of a breakout and then pull back, and that's through this like 24.50 area. We covered that at the time. I obviously am going to like that for a bit of support. If we can get down to there, I think you'd probably want to give it more to like 25 quarter, I should say, for clarification. It's actually holding up a little bit better, and it's kind of easier to see on the 1-minute chart, sort of breaking above some of these resistance points on, you know, solid volume pre-market. So it's already marching towards this top. I mean, if you're looking breakout, it's going to be that 27.30. The dip here, I think instead of waiting for that 24.50 area, you can actually look at this 26 quarter, which is held up rather nicely. So just a quick look at Li Auto. I think all three names are worthy of plays. Just do the one that's more comfortable to you. I'm probably, you know, I've traded XPeng a little more heavily the last couple of weeks. So that's probably going to be my first look. And for those of you that are good at trading NEO, nothing wrong with sticking there too.
Okay, let's go to Pinduoduo, another Chinese name reporting earnings better than expected once again for PDD. Right across the board, we were talking a little bit about both PDD and JD.com yesterday. Better than expected, 89% increase in quarterly revenue, guys, for Pinduoduo. Grab the watch list, guys. It's absolutely free for you. All the details, all the numbers, all the financials in the watch list, guys. If you want to read through that, you can pick that up. Valeria will help you out in the chat there.
I mean, yesterday was almost, yeah, it was close to all-time highs on Pinduoduo. And then today, holy geez. Yesterday, we put the buy stamp on BABA. We're going to get to that next. Really happy with the way that one's performing. But wow, Pinduoduo just off right now, like 24% and still making moves here. This high is 130. There's really nothing to look at here on Pinduoduo. I mean, we're already huge upside. You can see what it was doing yesterday. 101 yesterday open, ripping, you know, faces off up to 110, 112, 113. I mean, yesterday alone, that's a 15% move yesterday, guys, plus 23%. I mean, you know, you're nearing 40% here in 2 days on Pinduoduo. Yeah, so if you don't like the Chinese space and you don't like some of the rhetoric coming from the Democrats or possibly some of the new regulations coming, I know that's on finance companies over in China, but if you do think that China is going to be a little bit weak, I would say you could short this thing. At 40% in 2 days is just an unbelievable move here. Whether or not you believe the numbers or not, Pinduoduo making moves, crushing shorts and crushing dreams on that one as well. So 138.50, man, as the breakout. I actually think we could fall back down. Profit taking could be in. So look at this little bunch up here at 135. A break of 135, I think, gets us lower here.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's splitting hairs here because, like you said, 40% in a couple of days. So 134, 135 doesn't make a heck of a lot of difference. But you got this 140 test that happened here. And just noting the last couple of sessions, you look at how clean the moves have been when they've executed sort of at that open. It's gone basically one direction, either holding the pre-market range in the other way. So, I mean, if we don't crack this 140 top, it does feel like this has gone so far. It's a safe sell from a risk to reward standpoint in that you have an obvious level where if you don't realize that you're wrong shorting when 140 breaks, I don't know what would tell you that you're wrong.
Chinese space reporting officially 75 billion in singles day sales. That's a U.S. number. Remember, they did stretch it out to be a week long this year, so that's a record number, but it was a week long versus the typical just 1 day. It was interesting, the top sellers on the site during singles day came from the U.S., so U.S. sellers selling to Chinese buyers. Still under pressure past couple of days. You can read through on the watch list there because of the Ant IPO getting shelved and also new regulations coming from the Chinese regulators, guys.
We'll punch Alibaba in the face here a little bit. Not you. Oh, no, watch out. Okay, good. I was glad that didn't land on Brendan there. Yeah, so yesterday we bought it. We told you I'm long now, 262.50 or something in our own account. We talked about doing that last night, or sorry, yesterday at the open. We did that, and we were well rewarded here, basing out at 262, take the long on the breakthrough, and now today you're up at 271 change. I wrote down, I love the break of 272.50. That came into play up here. 270, this is 272, 272.50 a couple days before that, but that's a good little top there happening yesterday, 272. So I think we could break that out, 272.50, get a little more aggressive. But right now at the high of the day, it's looking pretty good for Alibaba, man. 271.50, taking that out. This is going to be a juicy one on the back of the Pinduoduo news as well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about some of these investments lately, and Alibaba is now going to be added to the war chest. This is a long-term play, guys. I'm not getting out of this one anytime soon. I think we go back to 300. So 272.50 is a level that I'm going to be looking at here. Here's the daily chart. This is why we buy it, man. Big gap down from the Ant shelving, and then now just great news, hopefully coming from China. So I don't know if they're lying about the virus or not, but like it's out of control here in Canada. It's out of control just stateside. You guys know that. Europe is reporting crazy numbers. I don't know why China. I don't hear crazy numbers out of China. Maybe it's the media being suppressed there. We'll find out. I told that to Valeria. I was like, why is Russia reporting no cases? And a couple months later, they're like the world leaders. But we'll wait on China. So if news gets worse from the virus, then we maybe will sell some Alibaba. But look, it's a stay-at-home play anyways, guys. So we win-win, I think.
Yeah, definitely a win-win. And look, forget about the fact that singles day was like a couple of weeks. We've been talking about this channel for a few sessions now, and by channel I mean that 265 to 270. It's actually ticked up and tried to break that 70 into 72. I'm looking at the even 272, just looking at yesterday's top, and then it was a couple of tests a little bit higher than that. I think that once again you're splitting hairs here. The breakout from this channel gives you an opportunity to get all the way back into the 280 to 285 range. That's the key thing. The 265 dips. Those have come and gone. I think 270, 272 is a new breaking point.
Palantir,
yeah.
Your Palantir coming after market tonight with earnings. Consensus EPS 3 cents per share, 279 million on the revenue side. First report since going public. After market tonight, what do we look at here?
Well, okay, Palantir. Palantir has been one that I've been pounding the pavement for. Ooh, look at Alibaba here. Ooh, a nice little buy. Okay, this is pretty good. Yeah, we've been pounding the pavement. I have at least about Palantir getting long this name back down in the $9 range. We're up huge today. I've already tweeted out 1670 as my breaking spot to go long. That's already been violated, so hell yeah to that one. We're already up a whopping 5% today. It's a big move for Palantir. We're going to take out the tops again on this one, 1675. We're going to go long on that break for sure, but we're already really high upside now, right? And it's earnings day. So this is actually going to be less exciting for me than other days on Palantir. We've been absolutely crushing this stock. It's embarrassing how well we've been doing on it. However, I just think on earnings day, you got to be very, very careful with how you trade these things. There could be a lot of momentum, or there already is a lot of momentum into this name. Look at the daily chart, man. I mean, this is what I mean. I can't believe it. This is why it's gone basically parabolic from $11. This was November 5th, right? So this is 5 or 6 trading days, and we're from $11 to $17 here today. I'm going to look for a 2 handle on this thing tomorrow after report, but I like 675. The bases are here at 1625. And then yesterday, I mean, we just ramped up into the afternoon. We had a fantastic trade again in the afternoon off this break, 1550, all the way to the high side again. So we hammered this thing yesterday and did really, really well on it. The one thing you got to be aware of, and I'm going to try to zoom in on this as much as I can, Palantir can do things like this, like just drop uncontrollably. And that's the same way it can go up. We just got to be very, very wary of this. This was my best trade yesterday, going long off the pre-market break. We crushed it. We let it go down. And then I don't know how we did this, but we got long at 1442 yesterday. So we got long right here off this drop. So I'm going to be looking for something very, very similar right now with Palantir. And then when we get it, man, you better believe that we will be smoking this one today, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to try and touch that. The only thing I will say is, like Sean mentioned, it's earnings, right? So start thinking about a plan for if there is a bit of a sell on the news. I was like, there was a 1320-ish area that we can cover. There's some shipping names that are in play, and I am in one of them, so that's why I want to quickly jump to it before we run out of time here, because Sino, you'll see EDRY is on our watch list, but SINO, and I believe it's PXS, all a few shipping companies that are all gapping to the upside here. And then just heavy consolidation at lower levels. I mean, it's the same old story. I'm looking at a 310 area. Then there's also 350. If it's $4, I'll be long out. Today I follow my rules. If you see me, if you see this thing pop up at 9:30 or like 9:28 heading into the open, and I'm adding to this short position, then like I said, I will slap myself in the face. I've done it a couple of times here when I turn a winner into a loser. So not this time. If it flushes, maybe we hold lower, I'll add some more. But this is a level here at 265. That'll be about like 20 to 25 cents worth of a win, and I'll take the first quarter off there as I'm starting to do. And then I'm looking for another retracement down into 235 or so. Ultimately, I'll be all flat if it gets to $2 even. So that's the plan on SINO.
There was one earnings report from that group, and they all just went absolutely crazy. So yeah, the dry shippers in play today for sure. Let's bring in Arun here, and we'll have a look at the futures, see what we need to know about the overall market at this point. Arun, we're still in this kind of choppy sideways range here. What are we looking at today?
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of definitely a range here. Top end 80, 35.80, bottom end 35.30. That is it. We've been inside that range from yesterday. So now it's a matter of how are we going to range trade this? Okay, so between 65 to 80, there's a potential short option there. 50 going down to 30, there's a potential buy option there. That's all you can really do. You can try to range trade this, find the setup inside those areas. The reason I would set those areas is just purely risk profile, right? You don't want to risk too much, because the market can only go so much before it runs into support or resistance on the other side. So you only want to make sure your risk profile is proper, 1-to-1 at the very least, if you're trying to range trade this. So 65 to 80 is the top end, 50 going down to 30 is the bottom end. Find the proper risk profile, try to catch a bounce going off into the other direction. And then if it breaks, then you have a potential for a runaway trade in the other direction or on the breakout. But while we're still inside the range, risk profile, find the trades between the ranges, and that's all you can really do on a day like today.
A lot of wait and see. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again with Arun coming up tomorrow morning before the open. Let's talk about Vroom, guys. There's one more I want to get to. Earnings name, recent IPO as well. If you remember, I guess it was the spring. We had Vroom. Not good as far as the earnings are reported, bigger than expected loss. The guidance as well to the downside. So they are expecting the loss to widen in the next quarter. So VRM, one to look at to the downside. We're down about 12% so far.
Yeah, if you can see the daily chart right there. I have it up as well. If your daily chart looks like this, don't guide lower. If you do, this is what's going to happen. Below that IPO issue low of 38.50. So You can probably throw it out the window. Usually what I would like to be doing here is if it does give a pop back into that and this is the recent bottom here, 37.75. It pops into that 75, so that's the 38.50 range. I would expect some resistance to the upside there. But my first look is going to be 35. Take this bottom out. I'm just going to join the party. It is short sell restricted. You'll see it's down 12%, so I can't quite hit that bid, but let's hope there's liquidity. Right now, it's only 300,000 in terms of volume, so no guarantees. 35 breakdown. Otherwise, I try to short the first pop that goes into 37.60 to that 38.50, which was the IPO opening day low.
Yeah, I love that. I love that break of room on 35. Absolutely fantastic. I thought used car sales had a chance here, guys. You know, you saw with Carvana, you saw with a couple of different names. So that's very, very disappointing that they missed. I did see some talk here. Again, I'm pretty much on fire right now, like unconscious. I gave you guys Grow Generation like what, a week ago, even more than that when we were talking about marijuana stocks. There you go, guys. Grow Generation up another 6%. I see you, Dan McIsaac. I see a couple people there on the chat. Yeah, look, we will pat ourselves on the back. I mean, not every time do you get to come in and you see some of these calls that we're giving our audience here for free on this Grow Generation. We've been loving this one. 19, you're waking up today for $22. It's not a huge move, but 6% is pretty nice. You may want to get out and then recycle if it does come back down. But Grow Generation, man, hitting the swishes, man. We're lining up from the free throw line and doing Steph Curry-like numbers right here, Brendan, at the big screen.
Yeah, that one positive. This one not so much. Sundial Growers, another one from the cannabis space. Earnings aftermarket yesterday, not good for SNDL. We are gapping up, little tiny penny stock, but very, very liquid. Lots of volume already in the pre-market, so worth a look if you're into penny stocks. Tight little consolidation forming here around this 30 to 35 range. Needs to get back above 45, I think, to go anywhere. But SNDL, another one, guys.
Yeah, and I mentioned this one. It was a sort of an easier type of a short when you're digging into a penny stock when you want to fade some of that news. The only difference I'm looking at is I like a 36 area. So if I do short at that 35, I'm looking at 36. On a break, I'll take a shot at 40 to 42 off of that 45 level. So I'm not taking any longs in this name at any point today. This is just not going to happen, guys. So definitely going to be away from that one. One other position, you'll see I have Fuel Tech, and this is one from yesterday. I went parabolic off the open. I got caught off the open. I actually got out right at the open, so at least did that right. You can see the move that it made, but we're holding lower after yesterday's bottom, 115. That was also a key level. If you look at the breakout, was at that price. So 125 to 115. That's my target entry. I have some at 112 here short. If it breaks 125, I'll be out. Looking to retrace back to hopefully penny stock status. Buck was the pre-market low. I'll definitely take some off there.
Okay, so Lee Auto, 27.25. We're looking for that one to come in 2.5 minutes. I just hope I don't get in before then. I may. We'll see. I hope not. I hope it doesn't rip up there right at the open. We'll see if that does happen. You know what? Maybe I'll just cancel that just in case that does happen. So we're going to go 27.25 on Lee Auto. My XPEV, and again, I tweeted these out already for you guys, some of these levels, but they've already broken. Like XPEV was 36. We really love that one. I put some multiple stars beside the XPEV 36 level. So what's the difference? 36, 36, 40, 36, 30. We'll wait to see here, but it's already above this pre-market high, which is fine. It's a good sign. I don't have any problems waiting for this one to come back in a little bit. If it does, we'll hit that, but it looks like we may have to go long off the open for XPEV. If that's something, we'll take it. And then NEO right here as well, now breaking new highs as well. 44.75, we're looking to get it long in on NEO. That's that little uptick right there. Some action at 44.40. So this is going to be a crazy day, man, with only 2 minutes to go. My Palantir also ripping right now to new highs. There's Palantir, 1 million, NEO, 1 million, BAC, CCL, we'll go short side on Carnival today as well with the virus going out of control. And then there's the big bad boy in China, Alibaba, going nuts as well. XOM. Sell your oils when you can, guys. That's why I got excited about Enbridge the other day, trying to get out of that one. Okay, 44.50. Here comes NEO.
Yeah, and Baba did break that 272 very, very briefly before coming right back in. This is why we don't like it. We both say this. We don't necessarily love these pre-market. It's starting to give you a bit of a pullback type of trade. I don't think it's not to 265, but maybe it'll come back and test like 270 and get a better entry. So we'll have a look at Baba off the open. That's when I would like that trade. Sino and FTech. FTech basically flat. But SINO, there's a bit of a bid at 250. I threw that in the chat there. So I was looking at 235 next on a 60 break. I'll get some out in front of 250 as well. Short that one at 288. My eyes are also going to be on Moderna off the open. We talked about fading any sort of vaccine plays. That sort of stays the same here. The only difference is we've already started the rollover. So I'm not going to wait around till 87. If we get a test into this 85, 80 to 86 area off the open, that's what I'll look to short into. With only about 30 seconds to go, we've got covered everything, just about everything on the watch list for you, and has some ready plays to go here. Alibaba still kind of grinding lower, so watch out for that 270. It could come into play as a bit of a dip dive, but my eyes are on Moderna for the 930 play, Sean.
Okay, here we go, guys. Only 10 seconds, Neil. 44.80 maybe coming into play here on NEO as well. So watch out for that one, guys.
Yeah, and there's that countdown. 7, 6, 5. Valeria, ring that little bell. Here we go. It's Thursday. Got a good one for you guys.
Yeah, it's Thursday. It's a big day today. The NASDAQ's trying to go back positive. Oh, you know what we like? We like Microsoft here as well. Watch NEO. There we go. We're in Li Auto already, guys. 27.13. Like, I don't even know how that filled, but we'll wait to see there. It looks like it does break, but we get 27.13s here long on Li Auto. We got to let it settle down. We do like that report. So here we go to the upside, Li Auto.
Yeah, and immediately downside goes Moderna. You can see me right there trying to short this one. It's right at that 84 mark, so it hasn't actually broken this pre-market low. It's about to take it out. I was, of course, looking for that pullback trade. I'll still do it. It still has time to get that little buy action, but it looks like it's going to be the sell right away on Moderna. Alibaba headed southbound. Still watching, of course, on Moderna here, but Alibaba headed down towards that 270 for any dip buyers out there. 272 still remains a break.
And man, are we monsters right now on Li Auto. Bang! Another big winner for you. We're back, baby. We're back with a vengeance today. Li Auto, well, we're back with a vengeance. Yesterday was one of my best days. 27.10, we're long, guys. It's at 27.50. Bang, bang. 27.60. Let's just go. Let's just keep getting these out. Give me some 61s, baby. Boom! We're out at 61 now. The party just continues here. We go long Palantir, breaking through 17 now. Let's see what we can do on the high side on Palantir and let that one run, man. Let's let Li Auto run, guys.
Yeah, just got into Moderna for the first time here. You're going to see 84.60s. We'll slide into some more shares, but it is already headed southbound. It looks like it's going to break this 84.25 bottom. That's not a terrible place to add if it breaks the bottom here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Look, if you have to chase it down, you got to chase it down. SINO also continues to run to the downside, so both those shorts in the money. That one, a nice little 25-cent win, so almost that 10% target. But the story here for me, I think, is going to be Moderna pulling back in as expected.
Oh, man, we missed the XPEV. We should have been long XPEV as well. $34, guys. $34 was the bid down here. The break is $36.50, so that's not going up. Li Auto, best out there, 70s, or 62s, but now it's coming back down, so we just want to make sure that we capture some of our profits and get a little bit out here on Li Auto, but big trade there to start the day. Our Palantir going the other way. NEO breaking the top, 44.80. Let's go. We're long NEO again, guys. Good trade here, 44.80. Goes as high as 94. Look at the NASDAQ, though, coming down. Watch out. We got to protect some of these trades here, guys. NASDAQ moving against these longs.
Yeah, I mean, the NASDAQ coming to the downside. I mean, it's not going to affect this SINO, but it's going down anyways. We just got the break of 260, so took some more shares out. I talked about the buyer at 250, so got to take some shares off in front of it. You don't want to look that gift horse in the mouth like I always try to say to you guys. I also want to go over to Pinduo Duo. Just make sure we're still tracking this name. It is starting to sell off. It's managed to hold. There was just a break at 134. I did miss it, but thankfully we're right back here again, and now I can actually short a pop, which is going to be a heck of a lot better. Obviously, I was looking over at Moderna, which still slides in the money. It's in only 30 cents, so it's running into some trouble at 84 even, but a nice winner there. And now I'm going to fade into Pinduo Duo. Brendan, what's up?
Another one to look at here, guys, with vaccine data as well. Vaxart, VXRT up about 9%, heading southbound, though. $5 needs to hold here, but positive data on Vaxart's potential vaccine as well.
Okay, guys, Li Auto making back to the highs again. We have orders up here at 28. That's a big winner. You want another big winner, man? Look at NEO, 45.13. We got some out, guys, there. So big time win there on NEO. Big time win on Li Auto. We're waiting for Palantir. Like, I just took some more here, like literally right here. This is a drop here. So we're going to wait. I told you this would be a tricky trade today. We did take some 17s long. That didn't work. We're pretty light. We're not as heavy. We're not going to give this one back to the low here. 16.20 is the low on Palantir, so we'll get out if that one breaks.
Yeah, just got some out on Moderna here at 83.85. So we had a couple of entry points, got some at 84.50, sorry, 84.60, added at 84.25. As it comes back in, I'm now looking at this 85 level, so 84.80 to 85. We're going to fade back into this one on the way back down. So Moderna looking like it already wants to get that little sell-off, guys.
And guys, XPEV, boom, again, another one, another 50-cent win right there on XPEV. 36.60, I told you we'll take out the high, and boom, big wins, guys. 50 cents right now on NEO and still ripping up. 70 cents now on Li Auto and still ripping up. XPEV, this is 65 cents now and going. Oh yeah, and by the way, Palantir, look at this bottom pick right there, 37. Let's get it going back upside. We're long at 67s. Man, what a day. Spin it again, Neil. Spin it again. Money, bro.
No, I know. We don't have a spinning one. You got to get one that actually spins. They spin in, you know what? They spin in. I'm still looking for an opportunity here because I don't have us breaking the top yet on XPEV, and there it goes. Maybe I had a different level, but 37.60.
Boom, $1 in the money now.
Top end break. I also like pullbacks into that 36.50, but now is the time here on mRNA to dig into that little short guy. Is going to have to watch that one.
Oh my God, this has been a huge day. Once again, look at this. Look at the positions we have on, guys. Li Auto, 77 cents in the money. NEO, 80 cents in the money. Palantir, 20 cents in the money. XPEV, 50 cents in the money. So yeah, it's a big day. That's why we do that. We spin that, we line them up, and we knock them out for you guys. Big time trading happening today. I hope you guys are enjoying this one. Look at Palantir like a glove, guys. I mean, I honestly can't do this any better for you guys every single day. This Palantir trade, I mean, boom, boom, boom. Now right back to positive central on this stock. We'll watch Palantir continue to go, man. Everything ripping north side for your boy. Let's go. Yo, what's up? Oh, Neil's doing focusing. Okay. Yeah, all right. We're watching this, guys. Palantir still ripping to the high side. We're waiting on the 1658 here to go. CCL, we're waiting for it to break through. CCL.NY, 1550 maybe on the downside. It was a good little level there. It looks like it's about to break, so we will have to watch out here for CCL to go that way. Palantir falling down a little bit. There it is. Nice little 50-cent win there on XPEV. Our best out, though, guys, $1 on that name. But these names are pulling back just a little bit here. Li Auto, best out 27.90, and now it's coming back in. Look out, NASDAQ now making new highs. I think we can probably hold on to all of these. What's up, B?
Guys, 4.6% now. Just took out 86 again. Tried once but failed. We're above 86 again on decent volume. Volume alert there for mRNA.
Trying to take off the top here. I'm into the short on this one. If it takes out the high, like I said, if it takes out the top, you know you're wrong on that name here. XPEV looks like it's trying to come back in. It did dip down, not quite towards 36.50, holding that level so far. I have that breakout price, looking to take some off because it's looking relatively weak. This was off pre-market volume here, but it was solid volume that it got to 37.60. So I'm going to lighten the load a little bit just to make sure that we can stay alive for this. But it's Moderna towards that high end. That fade play has been pretty good to me. So I don't want to, can't take it off too early. You got to like that trade, but it looks like Moderna might actually take out the top. I can't remember the last time that didn't work on vaccine news.
Okay, guys, and we're going to bang it out again here. Here goes Microsoft, guys. We took a 218 break to the upside on MSFT. So here goes Microsoft. We're long 218. Out a little bit there at 13. We'll watch this go to the high side now. If we can get some 18s, 19s, 20s, we will do that, man. Right now, basically, I'm living or dying with NEO up 70 cents. Let's get some more out on this one as it just keeps on ripping here. XPEV keeps on ripping as well to the high side, so we'll wait on that one here going. Palantir, though, down right now. There we go. There it goes. So we just got out of Palantir. We were able to take some out on that rip. Like I said, it was moving great for us, but then the crash back down here. Earnings play is going to be a little bit tough. I do want to take it long again if it breaks through 25, though.
Yeah, and Moderna's still testing the top, guys. XPEG looks like it's going to be a done deal here. It's going to break this 36.60 to the downside. It might not hold up there, but it's all about this. I mean, Moderna, this is a play that I usually am all over, and I'm loving it. We did get a bit out of 85, but now we're talking about this 87. I have entered into the trade here a couple of times, got 86s, got 86.50s. If it takes off the top, you got to be out of this one. You just can't let it go through. always fading this. You know how it's going to go for me, but it's definitely a spicy meatball to say the least. If it takes out the high, looking at 87.30, I know 87 is an even number. 87.30 is that high of day. If it breaks it, my hands are off the keyboard because I'm going to be automatically out. No emotion attached to this one. Sometimes you got to take the hit and run. And this play, as good as it's been, doesn't look like it wants to work here.
And boom, another 50-cent win here. Microsoft banging to the upside. Look at the positions, guys. We did go back long Palantir 29s on this 25 break, but it only goes to 30. So now I have $16 here. Actually, you know what? Let's break it down just a little bit more on Palantir. We have this level. I'm not going to let this break now on the downside. 15.85 here. I knew that there'd be probably some profit taking into this name today. It's been up so much. We did talk about it. Got a little frisky with it up here at 17. That was a small trade, but now we'll watch the upside here on Palantir as it just keeps on making the moves downside, but we're long waiting for that one. Man, Microsoft, Brendan, 70 cents, 60 cents, sorry, now in the money. Better take some of that off. What you got for us, homie?
Another one with earnings, guys. NNDM, Nano Dimensions, recent high flyer earnings this morning actually were not good, unfortunately, for NNDM. Big move down here. Trying to hold 360. There was a little bit of congestion in the pre-market around 360, but monster volume so far on NNDM, guys.
All right, everything going good for NNDM. We'll look at that. I'm just watching some of these electric vehicles here because Li Auto now coming back in here. Neil's already talked a little bit about XPEV. We're going to hold on to XPEV. We're lucky enough that we're long right here at 36.50. So is it 36.50? Yeah, 36.65 long. So that's still a decent spot for us. We're going to wait for that to go. Microsoft's coming back in. I think we just keep taking these 40 pennies. My best out, though, on Softy, upside 60, guys. So just to give you guys an idea, we still only have a third of our position left on this one. We have half of our Neo, man. We're trying to hold out for even more on this name. And then really Palantir is our only loser today, and it's pretty big just because we did take this spot right here. Sorry, this spot was a decent, we should have took it all out up here, but we didn't. So we're going to watch here now. If it breaks back above 16.30, we're going to go long again.
Yeah, time to regroup for me. I did have to cover SINO at 250. You're going to see both Moderna and XPEV come back in rather heavily. Moderna, I said if it took off the top, I'd get out. I couldn't hold past it. Like, it takes me out here right at that quarter. It's going to roll over. It's one of those things that's going to happen to you. But if you start chasing it a little bit too far here, and look, actually, if it holds up at 85.75, that would be a bit of a bullish sign, but if I'm only looking to the short side, that's just the way it's going to have to be. Obviously, it takes out the high here, so that play isn't going to end up working. I do want to get you guys quickly back over to, we talked about Sundial a little bit, so just make sure you're watching out for this one. This seemed like it was going to be the easiest short, but I was already playing Encino, that one turning around off that 250 buyer that I talked about. But SNDL looks like it's a safe sell. I didn't get into this one. I had one test trade in the pre-market, guys. But unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it here. I'm still annoyed about this Moderna because now it did break 86.75. It might come back in, but I'm not going to go FOMO and chase that one.
All right, guys, we'll spin this again one more time because look at Microsoft. This was actually my biggest position here, capital-wise today, breaking through this 218 and all the way upside, man. We just took another 80 cents on that name. Neo, 55 cents in the money, and a big trade for me here today as well. XPEV, Palantir, we got out somehow. I guess that was a bad wick. We got to get back in. What up, Beep?
Department store operator Revolve, RVLV. We've looked at this one as well. Just working through the earnings from both aftermarket and before the open here. Big move down 13%. For RVLV. Just had a volume alert there as it held $19. Looks like support for RVLV, guys.
All right, we already have, so we're into some problems here. And by problems, I mean no problems. But Palantir making moves downside, guys. We're going to test that 16. We'll take one little long below 16, like right here. And then we're going to use 15.85 as an out. So today, the Palantir move is downside. And I did tell you guys, if you rewind the clock, basically, to before the market opened, I said today is not going to be a day that we're going to put big risk into Palantir. Not on earnings day. So there you go. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something about what I'm thinking when I talk about some of these trades and what we're looking for, guys. Palantir, we're back long again. One last test at this bottom, 15.85. Looks like it's going to break, but that was a warning that I fired off to you guys early. We're not going to go ham on Palantir today, guys.
Oh my goodness, Pinduo. Heading southbound, guys. So yeah, whatever. I mean, the call's going to be good. Triggered out of this one, and you're going to see it continue to flush. We talked about maybe selling news on this. Anytime something runs 45%, and I hate the term real company, but anytime real company, runs 45% in a couple of sessions. You have to look for when that turn is going to be. It looks like the jailbreak is on in Pinduoduo. We didn't cover any dip buy options for it because I wasn't necessarily thinking it was going to be this quick. But 131 breaks, so you're probably starting to think about, 118 was a previous resistance. You go from there to the top and just put that 50% sort of random number, and you're going to get to like a bit of 125 area, something along those lines. I think it's going to be an interesting area to be able to pick it up. 129 would be the high end of that range if you're looking at that 50% retrace. So call it the 1/4 to 129. If it bottoms out there, maybe you like Pinduoduo, you can go grab it there.
Yeah, so my trigger did not trigger for Palantir. We should have got out there at 1585. I don't know what happened there. We did not get out. So we did take a little bit more down here. We're going to use that 1550 level. There was some size there, so I did notice that. So we did go back into the long here on Palantir. Our average price 16. But again, it's not something that we're super worried about. Microsoft good out here. Our last little bit, we're out of Microsoft. That was a big trade. We're out of Li Auto. That was a big trade. We're out of XPEV. That was a big trade. And then the only thing we have left is NEO, which now is flat. It could turn negative if we don't get a little bit more excited about this one and get out of it soon, guys.
Yeah, if you're looking for a little bit of sundown, and we're going to go to Brendan in a second. If it pops up even like a cent and a half, this is where you want to take it. 35, 36, still in play. It's bouncing off this 32. Just temper your expectations, guys. Take larger shares for smaller wins. Brendan, what's up?
Yeah, just checking on Inovio, guys. INO, another one in the vaccine game. 7% here, straight higher. Right from the open. This thing was doing absolutely nothing in the pre-market and then just ripped better part of $1 right from the open. So just going to check on Inovio, guys.
Yeah, let's check out Alibaba. Alibaba actually falling down. Thank you to whoever just put that in the chat there. Pair, I believe. Well, guys, we're always watching this. We want to make sure ACB. Okay, we'll check out some of these names as we go, as Weed Batman's going to be in the building soon. What is this one here? 269.50. So Alibaba's doing its little dance here again. It's building a base for me, so I do like that. We could take advantage of this, but I'm just noticing here, like XPEV, all of these Chinese names, like now NEO's going down. We're going to give this to 44. There we go, we're out. So NEO falls back down here. Some of these Chinese names falling on their face right now. So I don't know about Alibaba going long. NEO just tests 44, gets us out. Again, we are half. So half out there, half out here. NEO will be a loser. So if I had a backflip where I fell on my face, I would do that. But instead, we'll just flush NEO down the toilet as it looks like we get out at the absolute worst price. Let's look to get back in somewhere, guys.
Someone just asked, is Pinduoduo going to continue to fall? I mean, I did sort of mention that I'm going to be looking for some potential bottom picks here. If it does give a push back to the upside, I think I'm looking at like 133.25. If we hold down here, it still has a shot to look at this pre-market area and maybe channel off a little bit and then have a secondary push down. I'm not going to chase it to the downside. I'm not going to take a 130 break. That already tried once and failed. So 133.25, that's got to be that top end that has to hold for me to jump back into a short. Otherwise, it's 125 to 129 that I'm looking out for. I'm still watching that sundial. Watch out, SINO did bounce off that buyer at 250. I'm out of that one and looking at that 3 to 310 area from the pre-market that we liked. If we get back in and it holds 310, I think SINO is going to be a good one. Pinduoduo starting to level off, looking to see if we can get some of that 133.25 area if it can hold.
Okay, so we did go long NEO here, trying to seek some revenge on this stock. So we actually put a bigger position on right now on NEO. Like Neil just mentioned about catching something off the bottom. We'll look to do the same here on NIO, now making that money back big time here, making that money back. So good little move here on NIO. Unfortunately, our Palantir again. Do we pick the worst spot of the day? We'll see if we pick the worst spot of the day here on Palantir. So, but we did get back in small. We got to let NEO keep going to the high side here, hopefully, and let this rip up, and then we'll make a little bit of this money back. 45s, yes, sir. Nice little trade here on NEO.
Brendan, I think has some. What do you got, bud?
Some of the airlines, guys, under pressure this morning. Just saw a headline come through there for Love Southwest. They said this morning, and the CEO said this morning, that recently their recovery has kind of slowed a bit. So revenue recovery slowing in recent weeks, but we had to move down to 41.50, held right back to 42.50. So trying to get back up to where we were yesterday, 43.20 with LUV, guys.
Yes, sir.
The same thing in ACB sort of happened again in terms of a dip buy. Now, yesterday it was 6.50. Today it's 7 even. We did identify that buyer earlier in the morning, but it was actually more structured. It actually leveled off a little bit, giving you some good entry opportunities. I'm talking about back down here. We're longing that 650 area. And now you're getting another jump off. A couple of things to keep in mind. It did top out, as Sean already mentioned, 830 yesterday's high. If it fails, to break the 830, there could be a bit of a rollover short. The defense, I think, would be in and around this 760 to 775 area if you can catch that. Pinduoduo is heading back up. It's still only at about 131. So a couple of dollars higher, and we'll see if it can't hold for another re-entry into the short position, guys.
Okay, yep. Okay, we're just messaging here the producer quickly. Okay, 44.40. We're still watching NIO to go to the upside here. My best out is 60s off this long. Unfortunately, we didn't get everything out on Palantir. My best out there is 80 off of a 59 long. Don't get this twisted, guys. Like, this has been a negative trade for me today on Palantir, and I should have followed my own advice and stayed away from it. So I didn't, and we pay the price here on Palantir. But hey, guys, be responsible for our trades, and yeah. I'm in it, so whatever I said doesn't matter because I've lost on this trade and I did not follow my own rules. And here we go again. Like, it rips up and I don't get out of this trade. 15.35, the new bottom. Let's not let that go by the wayside. But we could also here look at a daily chart. Yeah, that's not going to help us much. The high there, 15.09, one of those days before we broke out yesterday. So we could use 15.10 as a base here for this trade. We'll see if that works out. NIO is still 20 cents in the money, but we just did take 40 on it. So let's see if it gets back upside.
I want to come back to one from yesterday, and apologies. I did mean to cover, and look at that ugly wick. Let's go to another chart here. Let's look at Boeing here on a 15-minute so you can see a little bit better. We're talking about dip buy opportunities on Boeing. Yesterday was good at 185. It was a good little bounce. It did a similar move a couple of sessions ago, but today it's looking like it's only jailbreak upside. And if you're going to be watching this little push up, remember that 185 was a significant level. I do like this if we can make a bit of a leveling off here, 78 to 80, and then take that into the 185 range. Then look at this 183, which was some resistance going into the close. Boeing on the march back up. I think buying the dips is the name of the game here in Boeing. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Very rare, but just had a volume alert on ServiceNow. Big $500+ stock here just came down. Tag 518, it looks like there was a volume alert there that came in. But right back into this range from the pre-market. Morgan Stanley with an upgrade and price target increase on ServiceNow, guys.
Yeah, ServiceNow, that's a big stock, boy.
So Brendan gave the news on this one, and it was a share offering on AKER. That we just got before the open there. It just opened and again pushed high side, and the liquidity is obviously, it's like a banana republic out here, so there's not a lot of liquidity. It is pushing up. It just feels like this is a really, really strong move for an offering. I want to dig in a little bit more to this one. If you are watching this name, it is rounding into some levels that was heavy consolidation around this 260, 265 area. And if there's nothing more to it, I would anticipate that it should run into some chop up here. So far, it's having no trouble chewing through any offer that appears, and I'm seeing some actual sellers jump in, and their orders are getting filled rapidly. So I'm going to stay away from this until like $2.75, $3, and get some clarification. Make sure I have the news right.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. You got to make sure that if you're going to trade something, make sure that it's based on truths and whatnot. So, okay, here we go. NIO to the upside. What a big win this one is. So we will floss off NIO. We are hella, up on everything today except Palantir, guys. Perfect on Li Auto. Bang, bang to the upside. Great trade there. Microsoft, I wish we still had some of this piece, but we do not. That was a perfect trade too. Breaking through 218 and getting out at the very, very top there was a good little out, but that's not the whole story. NIO, we're long again on this one. This was a fail. We were about flat on this trade. We were negative on it, but then we crushed this. Let's just get out some now 75s. Just crushed this to the upside. And then the biggest disappointment of the day, of course, is Palantir not following my own rules, and we do talk about that all the time here on the show, Neil and Brendan and the viewers, that we need to stick to a plan. And my plan today was not to get too wrapped up in Palantir. The only mistake that I feel like we made was this 17 break. However, that was light shares. It's these average in rate here that hurt. I should have waited for the bigger move. Like when we started getting in here, we've been okay with them, but Palantir still continues to fall, man. We're going to use 15.10 as our last spot to get out, but at least NIO right now making that money back for us, as it is now 70 cents in the money on NIO, and we have 40% left. So we're being very, very prudent with holding this. Sorry, 30% left, being very, very prudent holding this one, guys.
Yeah, I'm just going to go to Boeing here. I see Pinduoduo. It never actually bounced up into my target range for that re-entry to the short. However, Boeing is still trending to the upside. I'm just trying to buy the latest dip here. It just broke 180, so it took 179.73 in front of VWAP. Look, if it breaks 179, I'll just get out of it. But every single dip has been bought so far, and I've talked about the sort of the trend upside that we're trying to play here. Brendan, news for us.
Yeah, just double checking on this AKER. This 250, a really great level as far as resistance is concerned. However, let's talk about the news. We mentioned this one down here, $18 million through the issuance of 9.8 million shares at $1.85. They also picked up this private company. So there's MYMD Pharmaceuticals, which is a private pharmaceutical company in the U.S. Acres buying that and then issued this this share offering to pay for it. So that seems to be the story. So yeah, there is definitely a little bit more strength in this AKER, but coming up to an interesting level here, 250, guys.
All right, here comes Palantir, guys, just cracking, and it's going to get me out here. Again, I told you we'd hold this long. We'd wait till about 15.10, and that's basically right where it just comes there it goes, cracking down. Now you're probably going to break 15 right now as well. So let's watch out to see what happens with Palantir here. Right now, it looks like it's going to break 15 and just see ya. So yeah, we're going to wait. Oh, it just bounces off 15 maybe there. We'll watch to see what it wants to do here. Break through 15. We are short again, Palantir, but let's just watch this one. Breaking through 15 here. Is it going to? It's going to try. It's going to try. They're taking profits before the report today, guys. We're long at 9 and change. I can't do anything about it as I sit here and watch this tank, but you may want to watch your Palantir shares tonight. Pick some up if it starts to bounce, but right now it looks like it's holding 15, but not for long, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I'm going to go from one to the other here. I'll go from Moderna just to recap, guys. Look, this is why you got to take it off. It was a bit sloppy getting in a bit too early on the secondary short, but I'm going to take it off when it breaks a high. It's still going relatively strong to the upside, so you know I'm going to be down on that stock today. This is a situation where it's a one and done off the open. I'm not even going to try and make it back on that stock. You don't fight it. The only entry point for me is that rollover 930 type of play. Boeing, we're going to be back at this one. It did just dip off of VWAP here. Anytime you see something like this, where it's on a 1 minute, it's very, very choppy, whipping downside and giving you a nice little trend on the stock, you have a bullish look. The other aspect of it is this little pre-market level here, 179.40 or so. You did have some selling into that. Anytime I find there and then it ends up being VWAP, I'll start buying that bounce. I just took about a 50-cent win. Actually, sorry, check that. A 70-cent win for half the position. I'll take the rest in the high of day. I'll continue to buy the dip. If it breaks VWAP, I'll give it to 179 likely, because next time I buy the dip, it'll be closer to that 179.40. This time I got 73s.
And guys, this is honestly like we just got out there at 44.90. We're along 44.17 on NEO, so this has been a good one. Palantir broke, so we're only red on one stock, and that's Palantir today, guys. And this is why it's so super important that you make the money leading up to these days, right? And it's like you're not going to be positive every day on every single stock. Like yesterday, I think we were 8 for 8 or 9 for 9 yesterday, including Plug Power. As you guys saw what that did in the afternoon, we were able to make that cash back. There, wow, Neo. Okay, can I get some out here? Can I get some out at 20 right now? This is $1. Give me it. That's $1 win right there on Neo as it just explodes like cash to the upside. You're seeing the damage that we're doing on this name, guys. Electric vehicles, yeehaw today. Wow. We are 4 for 4. Li Auto, Neo, 3 for 3. XPEV, big time long there. Boom to the upside. That was a big trade. Li Auto as well. Microsoft. Where's Microsoft right now? Still hovering around. I have to look at this one. This one went to 219 off of our 218 long. Interesting. Palantir still falling. What up, Beep?
Jaws acquisition, in case anyone was missing SPAC World, JAWS, a new one today. Or sorry, JWS, the company JAWS, taking Cano, C-A-N-O Health public. So they announced that in the pre-market this morning, up 4% here. Just came off pretty quick there at the open. Down to 1050 though. 1050, a little bit of an area in the pre-market for JWS.
And you're going to see Pinduoduo continue to fall. Of course, this one from the watch list. If you missed that this was up on earnings, I don't know how. Talked about that 40 to 45% move. It's trying to level off. It's not quite. It's broken the 129. It's in that 125 to 129 range that we're mentioning earlier. It's trying to bounce off of it here. I was looking for a deeper retracement than this, but it might be at this level. So if it pulls back in and can hold a higher low, I'll try to pick some shares up here. Obviously, I prefer it deeper into that 125 test, but if it has to be here, it has to be here. Beggars can't be choosers. Stock's going to turn where it is, and as long as it's within the target range, I'll take that position. Still only have the first entry into Boeing. I'm going to let it go a little bit deeper, maybe a little closer to that 179.40 before I get any reload, and I want to try to hold this through the 181 top. I want to go back to Sino, SINO. There was a buyer at 250. It has held, and this is not like, it's completely different from ACB, but it's a very similar story where a couple of times it's bounced off this level. I did miss this reload because I was waiting for $3. I'm going to jump into some shorts if I get even a retracement into 65, 70 is going to have to be good enough because you can still catch 15, 20, 25 cent wins off of that till 240 to 250 level, which has yet to break. But I'll get back into CINO, but only give it back to about 280. If it breaks that, I would look back towards the 310 we're looking at in the pre-market.
Okay, 1475. We're going to give Palantir to the very bottom again. If it breaks it, then you know what? Then I really need to punch myself in the face, like Neil said numerous times, because we're back long in Palantir here. On this break, same kind of level, 15-20 breaks. We did get some out at 30. We're back long Palantir, hoping that that bottom flush is exactly that, a flush. So we'll wait to see on the downside there. We're getting some out now on the upside. So we're going to try to learn from our mistakes and get out if we can. But yeah, we're just going to use the bottom of the day here as our last ditch effort here on Palantir, 1475. Look, it's already going against me. Thank God we took a little bit off there. But yeah, not a great day here for that name. I'm most upset about Palantir, of course. But then PDD, if you rewind the clock, I said this 134 was definitely going to be something, and it breaks, or sorry, yeah, 134, yeah. It breaks there at 134 and then right down to 127 in change, but now making a comeback are these Chinese names. And by the way, guys, we're still $1 in the money on NEO. Thank you, Ms. V, for the refill of Le Café.
Hey guys, be careful. I just put in the chat. Be careful if you're trading this sundial. It is looking to take out this 36 to 37 area. I would not touch this to the short side until it makes a test of 40 cents or 40 to 42, as I was mentioning in the pre-market, guys. Boeing's back to flat, but this is not where I want to reload, so I'm not going to buy any more shares down here. I want to try to give it some more room. We're basically flat on the NASDAQ's up 0.3% and the ES is down 0.5, so you might want to give some of these positions, if you're trying to be patient, a little bit more. And I'm not going to chase things. If we're going sideways, let this all come to you. As far as the sundial, there is the break. So I would stay away from this short until we test up towards 40 to 42. I am going to be shorting the stock probably only today. If I'm looking at something in the renewable space to the south side, it's definitely going to be the penny stock I'll beat up on.
Okay, Neo's still going to the upside. We're pretty light on it, guys. We're just going to hold it just to see what happens. It's relatively a very, very light position for me now. We have 5% left, so that's nothing. Look what's happening up here. Apple 120. That could be something spicy, but the market's fading back in right now. This could be a good spot if you like the market to come down, which I think I do. Apple's short now with a 120 out. Looks pretty good to me. Go Palantir, baby. Let's go. Brendan at the big screen.
Yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here. You can see a bit of a mixed story still. S&P 500 back to the downside here, 0.5% now in negative territory. The Dow about the same, 0.7%. NASDAQ trying desperately to hold on to positive territory, 0.3, 0.15. The Russell is also negative there, 0.7%. Here in Toronto, 0.4% for the TSX. Brazil down as well, about 0.5% so far today. A few things from the watch list to watch still. The sundial Neil was just mentioning, yeah, nice long there through 36 possibly to get back up to that 41-45 area we were talking about right before the open, but definitely strong so far for SNDL. Eurodry, this ended up being the one to fade, and of course, very, very hard to come by locates on this one today. 12 to 12.5 was kind of this congestion from aftermarket yesterday, ended up being the spot. We're at 8.5. $4 move to the downside for EDRY, still up 100%. IMAC, another one here that was popping up this morning, very, very small healthcare company, bought another private healthcare company. Positive news for them through that 180, 190 area, gave you a trade up to 250 off the bat. Back to you guys.
So obviously I talked about wanting consolidation on Pinduoduo. It doesn't happen. You see it snap right back to the upside, but here comes 133.25. Well, I mean, it's not there yet, but $1 away, but you got to have a plan of action. I'm going to break out into a long, but first I'm going to short in front of it. So you'll probably see me slide into some shares in front of 133 once it gets there. If it holds, I think we reverse right back into that 129 to 125 bottom. And obviously, you know, if you see me flip, that means I've lost on the short, and then I'm into a bit of a long. From there, I'd like to see if we can't test back into some of that opening range. Now, Pinduoduo, you had the flush. It went kind of to what the plan would have been. But either way, now you're seeing it come back and immediately from the long into the short and back into SINO. Now watch out for SINO. If it breaks 310, you do not want to be short that name.
Guys, we are feeling kind of ways right now. And there's your first chicken dinner winner. Bang, $1.70 on NEO, guys. $1.70 on this name. Yeah, big time trade here to go. Like this, like we were like saying, oh man, we are negative on NEO. Scratch that, baby. We spun the wheel and it comes up jackpot on NEO, guys. We bought and picked there. I told you this was a bigger position than this one. Goes to the upside. Unfortunately, we got most of it out near VWAP and we're only 5-10% long now in this name. But yeah, when it's $1.70 in the money, it doesn't matter what percentage it is. It's a big one. So here we go to the upside. A big trade here on NEO. Maybe get this off. This should be near, if not already, all-time highs. So yeah, to say that, yes, it is. To say that this has been a big day goes without saying, guys. The only thing that we've dropped on today is Palantir. We go Hertz, perfect. Li Auto, Microsoft, NEO, XPEV, and then Palantir. So right now we'll wait to see if this one can go back to the upside. We're long 21s right now. We just got some outs at 48 and 49s. We noticed it bouncing off of 50 there. So that's why I just did take another out there at 35. We'll see. It's got to break through 1550. May take a little more long if it does that, but I'm really happy with my position. I don't want to put any more money after this stock. It's already been disastrous for me, basically.
So I'll backflip for a Pinduo duo. The reverse to long immediately takes out like a quick 70-cent scalp. I'm going to hold the rest for a bigger move. But I got to watch SINO. I talked about getting back into this one if it popped. You cannot let it go past that 310 area. I'm definitely going to be watching first this level here, 280 to 285, where we had some consolidation sideways. If you're fading into this one after the open, that spike up was on volume. But I have shorted at least a little bit into this one. 275 is my average price. I'll definitely lighten this load if it tries to break 290. But 310 is the big level of concern for me here. It is sliding to the downside, but I just want to make sure I cover the contingencies in case it does make a further break up. It's about 10 cents in the money. I'll take some shares off in front of that 250, and as long as there seems to be some buying down there, whether it's size buying or just market orders that seem to come in at that price, you're going to see me take it off in front of it until we've broken through and held below that price. And at that point, I think Sino is going to be a short for the rest of the day. Brendan, what's up?
Another one from the energy group with earnings we've looked at before. Camber Energy, CEI, on the NYSE Exchange, up 16% here. This thing is all the way back to penny stock status, I just realized. But volume alert here for CEI through 80 cents. Big offer got lifted there. It looks like 17% on better than expected earnings.
All right, Palantir, we just got out of that. So that just comes back down, breaks, and then we got out right where we got in. So that was basically a flat trade there. So I'm pretty happy with it because we were able to capture, not flat on that last part, but we were able to capture some of the money back there and noticing a stopping spot there at 1550. So now that I don't have any shares, I think we could probably try to go long now if it does break through 1550, but I'm not committed that much to it because we're out of that stock. So Palantir, again, the worst stock today. Raining down money in our long-term account because we're long at 9, but it did touch 17 today. So let's see if it can make a move backside. It has stopped at 1550, so if it gets back there, your boy's going to go long 1550 on Palantir. And then also we have this NEO, still all-time highs on this stock, baby, and we're in the money almost $2. So good trade there.
Also, I talked about Fuel Tech, and this was one from yesterday, so it's a bit of an old theme here, but keep in mind names on day 2. We did a video about day 2 price action, but remember day 2 prices. I did get in and out once here, short in the teens, and then out when it broke through this pre-market high, but I did also say a 125 was a level to watch on this. So when it tests higher, it just is trying to roll over at 125, but I'm starting to get into position here. I just got touched here at 122 because it's a dollar stock and it's not exactly going crazy. It can certainly be patient and not chase this one down too far. I'm just going to sit passively and try to get into position on this name. Pinduo Duo pulling back a little bit, but holding 133 at least for now. And SINO safely in the money. Remember, 250 buyer has been a problem.
B.
Snapchat, guys, just saw here popping up 6.25% for Snap today on a Deutsche Bank upgrade. So 41 just got tagged there. Some volume went off, but nice move. 31 or 39 up to 41 for Snap.
Big one for El Snapper there. We'll wait to see what it does. So I'm going to get out of NEO here, 14.50 break. Sorry, 45.50 break as we're in the money at $1.70. So it's NBD. Snap is right here, 41 bounce off that spot. And I just looked at a daily chart. 41 is not super exciting. We have broken upside on some of this though before. Let me show you a quick daily chart on this. 41 has snapped a couple times up to 45. We talked about some earnings play down here. I don't know what this, this must have been election day. So we're going to wait to see here. 41.82 or so. I'm not in love with this 41 level, guys. But again, if it breaks it, it's a good one. So we'll wait to see, man. Snap with some energy today, making moves to the high side. I'd much rather, if you do believe in the NASDAQ, I think Apple at 120 is a much better play. It's ticked up to 120.01, 120.04, 05. So let's take a break of 120.05 here on Apple. I'd rather go here if we're going to go anywhere in tech. Microsoft has been a monster for me, though, guys, today. Big trade here. Basically taking out the top. But look what it's doing. I don't know. These tech names just kind of hovering around. Let's go Apple and see if it breaks.
Yeah, we're very flat on, like we said it a couple times, that we're flat on the market. That's why I stick to the watch list, stick to what's moving. Pinduoduo, needless to say, is a mover. I'm going to show you I did scalp some off here, and I'm always going to do this. If you take a bit of a break, I talked about 133.25 looking like a level. There was support down at 134, so you'll scalp some into this. And in the case that we find a channel here, 33 to 34 around VWAP, you can play it a couple of ways here. A tight stop for the rest of it, which I'll just take out right now. But now if we go sideways for 5-10 minutes or so, I'll have a breakout potential trade. And I don't want to be married to one direction, sitting in position if it happens to go sideways on me. Either way, the first look was a short trade. If this happens to you, you bungle a trade. You've got to make sure you don't chase it. I could have re-entered breaking through the 133 bottom. Okay. But that was not the trade plan, so I did stay away from it. Either way, we'll try to make some of it back here with that long. It's going to be a flat situation for me unless we test and hold below that 130 to 131 area. At that point, I think we're going to be testing that 125, which is where I would have ideally tried the dip buy.
Yeah, what a banger of a day. I see all you guys here talking, man. Yeah, it's been a big day. Love you guys. We love you as well. How big of a day this has been is an understatement. Needless to say, man, NEO right now, we just took some off at 92, 94 there and got out. So now we have a little piece left of NEO, and we'll just watch it go through all-time highs now, and we're banging them out, man. The only stock we've missed on today is Palantir. We missed pretty big on it. Should have stayed away. We're going to go long again through 15.50. We've talked about that, so I'm going to stay away from that until we see what's going on. But right now, Brendan at the big screen. Let's go.
Jeff, get caught up on here. Some upgrades and downgrades coming your way. Upgrades, downgrades over there. Home Depot a little bit muted so far, but weak overall, even with an upgrade today. I've seen PCG pop up a couple of times already on a volume scanner, but yeah, upgraded today. Nice move for PCG. And Square, downside still, even with an upgrade price target increase. Vroom, we've talked about this one. CRM, kind of interesting. I'll show you that in a second. Revolve, RVLV, mentioned that one as well on a downgrade today. So moving big time into negative territory. Home Depot, yeah, tested up to 283. We're right back down to basically where it ended the day yesterday for Home Depot, but an upgrade, interestingly enough, for HD. And CRM, yeah, did open lower on the downgrade, but trying to get positive here, 254, 255. A little bit of an area in the afternoon as well for Home Depot. Guys, back to you.
Thank you for reminding me about Vroom, Brendan. At least we did try to cover this one for you guys, let you know what the thoughts were going to be. And yeah, Vroom does test right back into this 3760 area. This is a 15-minute chart, guys, so you can see this is all at the open, that first little 15-minute run. It fails right through it and then comes right back down. Actually gives you down to 3650. What I'm going to like about this is if we can consolidate in this range, failure to break this high. I'm looking at 3830, dead in the face here. If we fail to break that, the gap fill, I think, is not going to happen, and I can catch a rollover trade back into this 36. So all bets are off if it breaks 38. We talked about the used car space, and obviously a lot of other names kicking the butt of Vroom. I don't know how you want to say it, but it's a trend to the downside, been the weakest of the bunch, and now firmly below that IPO issue price. And look, these levels matter, especially on an IPO. You look at this bottom here at 38.50. Do I think it's a coincidence that's where we failed today, trying to get back to the upside? No. So if it fails again, I'll short it.
Uh-oh, Palantir time. No, please, Palantir, don't get me back in. We got out there, light shares on that one, and now, uh-oh, here we go. We're going to get back in on Palantir right now. As soon as it breaks a little bit higher here, we should get back in as long as it triggers. Yeah, 52 is going to be the trigger. I see you, Dan, there, McIsaac. You said another banger, so I'm going to hit a bang for you coming up right now. Bang for you, Dan, on Workhorse. We just went long on Workhorse as well at 76. Let's take some out here at 82. There it is, a quick little 6-cent win. Spin the money, but now we'll hold the rest, guys. We just took a long Workhorse. Let's see how high this guy wants to fly. Oh, yeah, and by the way, end of the IO, breaking heads right now, up all-time highs, a $2 winner. Let's go backflips, hot dogs for everybody today. It's been a big day. There we go, guys. This is another one here. Apple, long Apple, 120.07 as this one starts to go high side now. Let's see what happens on this market. Okay, and Palantir, I hate your guts, but we're back in it. I can't stay away. Brendan, what up, bud?
2 days in a row here for RH, the former Restoration Hardware, 7%. Again, today, JP Morgan with a price target increase on this one. You can see yesterday, big move into recent high territory. This today is all-time highs, guys, for RH. A lot of people spending money, I guess, on their homes during this time.
Yeah, look at Workhorse, guys. Hot dogs for everybody. Workhorse now 20 cents in the money on this play. Good. Thank you, Dan, for that play as we go to the upside. 10 plus now cents on Apple. It's not a big trade on Apple, obviously 10 cents, but watch out for the market here. This has just been going upside down here, so we'll wait for 19.50. We'll see if we can get a bit off on this one if we can, but other than that, man, we're watching Palantir. A couple outs here at 64. What are we long at? 52s, a couple 8-cent wins on that one. But yeah, here we go. Right back to the downside on Palantir. So I still think we get back to VWAP 1580. We're going to hold out for that.
There we go. Just loading my chart back up. Finally, XPeng loading on the chart there. It's a 38 break. It looks like it's happening right now. You got to go to the daily chart just to make sure. Remember, it has made a bit of a top here and failed to break through 40. So there is a level above here still to go. 39.50 is going to be the new watch on XPeng. And I think it looks like we're going to get there. I tried once on a breakout trade, buying the dips. And I say it over and over again. Buying the dips on the EV names has been a more profitable strategy than buying breakouts. That's held true today. It was sort of, I don't know, it seemed like it was obvious. I think that's what I talked about. We still took the breakout and it didn't work for us. But now we're looking at this 39.50 area. If it tries to pull back into that previous break price at 37.50, I think that's where we can start doing the dip buy. But 40 is also a round number. That's why I don't love a break through that other high. I'd almost rather wait to get to 40 or dip it here at 37.60.
Okay, guys. About everything right now. XPEV. Hello, XPEV. Wow, 38 right now, 38.20s, breaking to the upside. What a great long we had there in XPEV, but unfortunately we're out of it, so it doesn't matter, like we keep saying. But wow, XPEV, guys, making moves to the high side right now. Congratulations to anybody long that name. Of course, Palantir goes all the way back down and then gets us out. So this trade was against, once again, a stupid flat trade for us, if not a little bit negative there, as we got out of 30% and then dropped 70% downside. So that's about a 15-cent hit, and we only made 9 or 8 on the top side there. We got out at 35. I just wanted to get out at where this started from, so that was 45. Gave it about 10 cents more, but Palantir, man, just got to stick to my own rules and get away from that stupid stock. And we will. Workhorse, 21 cents now, looking to break through 20, man. We're long right here, 75. So a good little long, 76. We're good little long here on Workhorse. And yeah, there's a hot dog for everybody as well. We've already done that a couple times today, so we won't hit hot dogs anymore. In case you're vegan, guys, we'll do a little Beyond Meat trade coming up soon too as well. But here we go, $20, a nice little 25-cent win to go. And yeah, it's been a big profitable day for us here on Trader TV, guys.
And now a seller showing up on SINO, so I'm going to actually take some shares to the south side here. Just watching Moderna, look at it's holding VWAP as the 15-minute chart for you guys that are following along here. If it does try to break through this bottom, maybe there's going to be a secondary short play. Like I said, not going to chase this one here. It has to give me what I'm looking for, and it's going to be an 86-quarter break to the downside. Also, look, and I don't care usually too much about size on a stock like this, but there is a bit of a seller that just showed up that might push us down through that price. I got to watch out in case I do grab that short through the quarter. Is that seller going to be real? If it starts chasing, if I see that seller start chasing it down on level 2, then I might use that as a bit of an out and then start scalping off of what obviously is someone looking to move some shares here in Moderna.
Okay, so NEO's coming back down. We still have that 45.50 level. Good thing we got out right there at 45.97. And there it goes. NEO, did we just get out of that one? Yes, we did. So there it is, man. Pants down, roller coaster today for NEO, as it's just been upside, downside there. We were actually negative a little bit on NEO when we got out of this one right here, but then we saw the false breakout there to the downside. It bounced. We took the long on the 44 break, and that's where we just got out. So we were just long 44, out 45. You can see the damage at the bottom, man. Like, those are the positions that we have. You can see the money that we've made on these positions so far today by P&L. I want to thank everybody for watching, as we're at the 6,000 mark right now. And thank you so much, guys, for making this show a big hit. And as much as we love it, we're really glad that you guys love it as well. Hit the like. There it is. Hit the subscribe, and we'll get going to you. But this is how I feel right now about Palantir. However, for some stupid reason, I'm back in. So we're long right now again, right here at 48.49. I'm with some of the people on the chat here and just think that we can retest back up here. And it's not, again, this is a little bit of revenge trading. I don't have a problem talking about that. I really think we can get back to 16. So we'll have to wait on it.
No, revenge trade. No, I mean, like
this one is though.
As long as look,
real.
if you have a plan of action and you want to get back in, like, look, I'm gonna look to take a trade in Moderna, not because I'm down on it, because I think I see a setup that I'm going to like. But I also want to go over to this EDRY. There were 3 names in the shipping space that were moving. This one just continuing to flush. I mean, look, I wouldn't touch buying this one. Obviously, it was the best one to short. You have to start thinking about if it gets to like a $6 area, it could have a bit of a bounce in it, but that's the only level I would be looking to even think about touching. Moderna going to come back up and looks like it wants to test that seller, which I don't see anymore, so it might have been a bit of fake news on the offer there on mRNA. Brendan's at the big screen. It's time for the small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, we were talking about all those dry shippers. There's a whole group of them that are going crazy this morning in the pre-market. There was one that reported earnings, and then they all kind of went crazy, better than expected earnings at that. So this one is the one that I was kind of having a look at, 28% still for PXS, but ended up being pretty boring. Not a lot of volume here. I mean, it is relatively speaking a lot of volume, but not enough to really push this thing around. This is $1. It's kind of just hovering right above $1. We were trading around 80 cents yesterday. This thing barely trades on a normal day. 140 was the top end of the range that was worth having a look. I mean, it's a little bit of a slow mover, but PXS. This one, however, was absolutely insane. Better than expected earnings, as I said. 12 to 13 ended up being a bit of a range here in the aftermarket yesterday on this one, Eurodry. Look at that, perfect test of 12, and then just fell $4.50 in a straight line. We sadly did not have locates on Eurodry, but that ended up being the one to fade today. FPRX, one from yesterday, starting to come off here. Tried a couple of trades in the morning, but looks like this 22.75. We were talking about 22.75 yesterday as a bit of a level on the daily chart. Finally starting to work to the downside here for that FPRX. Still up again today, 22%. Guys, back over to you.
So just alerted to Sino, it did break through that 3 in that 310 area. Of course, that's what I was shorting in front of. Reversed into a quick little long position. Again, just seeing if it can test in towards the high. And, you know, a couple of times this week, I've gotten a little bit stubborn with the shorting, and I've only go one direction. And I have a jailbreak level, and it's like, if I'm not taking, and apologies, I'm actually getting filled on the way up here, as I'm trying to say to you guys. If I don't take that reversal trade, I'm just regretting it each time. I'm not going to be shorting this one again until it makes a test of 350 anyway. So why not take advantage of the fact that it's an obvious stop out level that we had there? So I got a reversal at 10. I did take some of it out here in the teens. You can see all the way from 18 to 25 for a bit of a scalp trade. If it does try to level off on this pullback to like 295 to 3 even, I think at that point the break could be on towards 350. But it is that 350 level you have to watch. It did open up here in fail at that price in the pre-market, and then if it breaks 290 to the downside, I'm going to get out of the long, but I'm not going to jump into a short until I have a test a little bit higher.
Okay, we're just going to wait for 1550 on Palantir and just watch that go. We'll see what it can do. Apple back up to above 120 again. We still have this trade, so we're long at 120.05. It didn't really go against us. I mean, it went down to 119.90. So I still think Apple's going to have a high side test here. So we'll see 120.25, and then the nenext level 120.50. You can't break Apple down too much because we haven't been up here in a while. Yesterday's high spot was basically at the close, 119. 1970. So we're in the money 12 pennies on Apple. We'll wait. We'll wait for it. I think we can have a bigger winner here, especially if the NASDAQ does take out this top. That's obvious, because if it takes out the top and we're long Apple, then we know that can go, guys. Banger on AMD from Dan McIsaac. So let's go over there. What's up? 82 and change. Yeah, AMD is back, baby. You know we're long 76 and change on that one. Yeah, what a move that was there early on AMD, and then there it goes again. So the only thing, like, I'm positive, guys, on every single stock, sans Palantir today, guys. So I don't know. I just wish we would have held on to that XPEV a little bit longer. XPEV was 36.60 long. We hammered that one, and I was thinking it was pretty good taking that dollar clean on it, but now you're up to this money now $2 as NEO breaks through 46. We got the last part out at 45.50, and then Li Auto as well back to the high side. So everything working out. Our workhorse, we didn't get out of that one, but it's going back up now. We'll wait. We'll see what it can do, man. $20 is a pretty good spot for that. Let's take the quarter out if we can do that, if it gets back to 20, guys.
Yeah, a couple of things to get to. I did mention this one when I got in at first. Moderna starts to go sideways a little bit off of this lower high. And I'm using the lower high here because I don't want to fight this one too much. If I play a pullback short like this, I'm not giving it to high of day because I'm definitely going to be taking some off in front of VWAP. So I do have 86.80. Oddly enough, that's every now and then when you're sort of taking consolidation. I have a target average price I'd like to get into, but there's a spread here, liquidity concerns, and there's a bit of a spread, so you don't know exactly what you're going to get. But a decent job at getting exactly the risk I want here. So it's going to be risking 50 to 60 cents on this trade. But if I take anything out in front of VWAP, that's what I'm making. So I like that look. If it breaks towards the bottom, I'm going to do my best to try to hold on to some for that low. Now, obviously, I thought Moderna could flush a little bit more into yesterday's close prices, but that just hasn't happened yet. I also want to go over to that fuel tech. This also broke the top, and I mentioned that one of the things I have to do a little bit better is if I have a stop level that I think could be like a jailbreak type price, why not capitalize on the long a little bit for it? So that's exactly what I'm going to try and do here in fuel tech. If it breaks at 25, you'll see me into the long here at 26, shorted in front of it. Didn't work. Now we're going to look to see if it goes on the long trade. This one went parabolic yesterday. I'm not sure it's going to do it 2 days in a row, but we can still make a little bit of coin breaking into this long. You go to the higher time frame, you can see it's not doing this again. That's a little crazy, but if it gets into this like 140 to 150 chop, that'll be a profitable trade either way.
All right, Palantir, we don't really have any outs. We're holding a very, very small piece now. We're just going to test it and watch it. I still have 1550 on my radar. Thank you so much for the AMD call out. Let's go over to the big bad guy here, NVIDIA, and have a quick look over here at NVIDIA. 545. Nice to see some of these stocks holding up today, especially with the NASDAQ looking to maybe turn negative, I'm thinking here. So NVIDIA up 1.74%. You could take a breakout, but it's made this nice little bottom right here, 544.70. So this is a good possible break spot to go with the downside if you do like that. They're just looking at longer time frames. We're at 10:25 now. We could probably switch over to a 3-minute just to get a little bit of a quicker view here on what's happening. 544, that's good. VWAP back down here to 541. So I'm debating putting on a short right now on NVIDIA, but the market does have to break before we're going to really do anything with that. Our Apple looks like it wants to break. We're going to get out if it breaks back down below VWAP, like 1970, 1960 or so on that one. And we're still watching our Palantir, our workhorse, right back up, man. This is a 20-cent win right now as it's breaking back to day's high on workhorse. Yeah, we got that one. We'll spin the money. Like, I'm only really making money on EV spaces today. Workhorse, Li Auto, XPEV, NEO, Microsoft. Actually, Microsoft was actually a really profitable trade for me as well. Breaking this 218 early. You could see we had 218 yesterday in the afternoon. We waited for that to break, and it did. So we make that money back here on Microsoft. Not make it back, but we make some money on Microsoft. So we're going to watch out for this one. This is a 3-minute chart. I'm going to go back to a 1 for you guys.
Yeah, Boeing going back to this to high of day, now pulling back in. If it goes to view up again, I'll take the dip buy. Mixed results. I did have two, one for a win, one for a loss. So you're going to see here. I mean, thankfully, it's a little bit bigger of a win than we take on the hit, but either way, it's not that much success with that name. Sino, SINO, it looks like it's going to be back to the shorts. It broke down back below that 290, so I reversed to the long, scalped half out, take the rest off for a hit, so the long will be flat. Moderna still short at the exact same price. It is 86.80. It's at 86.80. So sideways action as anticipated. Hopefully it can roll over. And then hopefully we can catch his dip buy off VWAP in Boeing right around that 179.75 mark. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Another one from the earnings list, guys. Wix.com, the website creator, WIX, reported earnings down 5%. They reported a loss versus a year ago profit in this quarter. So this is a $270, $275 stock. It is pretty thinly traded, mind you, just tread lightly, but kind of consolidating here near day lows. Speaking of, coming up a little bit later in the show, in this space, brand new entrant in this space, Logic, going to join us. Brent Suon, President and Executive Chairman of Logic, coming up at 11:45. Guys, stick around for that.
Yep, always get your learn on around here. That's what it's all about. And look, it's about names that are obviously in play, and we talk about them on the watch list, but also you got to make sure you're paying attention to what Brendan is saying when he gives us new news. We talked about that Acre. It is leveling off. I thought there'd be a little bit more of a play here in terms of volatility. We don't have any locates on it. You're going to see a sort of trying to make a test at the top. Maybe it wants to make a breakout type of trade. It is rather thin, and it is a lower float name, but I don't think it's going to go too crazy here. I'm going to be getting back into that SINO, but it's going to be about that fuel tech. I talked about reversing into some long positions, which, you know, when it hits my stop and it's an obvious jailbreak kind of situation, you got to take advantage of it from time to time. So that's what I'm doing here. And it's not to say that I am not leaning towards the short, because I am in fuel tech. If it gets back to some of those failure prices on the daily chart, like 140 and 150, you know, that sort of corresponds with some chop in the afternoon. So I'd be getting out of my long in front of those levels, and then you get a rollover. That's when I'll jump back into the short. But I'm done with fighting the price action. If these are just going to run to the upside, I might as well join the party at least a little bit here.
I didn't want to look at ACB again, because I was excited about this thing taking off the top. Obviously, that doesn't happen. We can cancel that. We were looking at ACB during this ramp up here, and now I'm kind of getting a feeling here for some consolidation. Like 1766, getting back to VWAP here on ACB. Let's look at it a little bit of a longer, where's my mouse? A little bit of a longer time frame right here. ACB, minute 3. Yeah, okay, so VWAP's basically at the same spot on a 3 and on a 1, and this is the high right there in the pre-market. So I'm debating right now 766. Not debating. I'm going to go long 766 here on ACB. I do like it. I like the space. We saw ACB yesterday. You saw the huge ramp. Like this was yesterday, guys. I actually had this break, and I just showed it to you. 680. We broke this level right here, and I had it, and we got out at 820. Shout out to my man Greg, who pointed out that 820 the last couple days. If you go back over here, it was 820 was right here. Was a spot where we bounced off of right there, 820. So when we went up to 820 yesterday, that's where we decided to finally get out. And so I still think, this is a 3-minute chart, I still think that this is a good break, man. 766 for sure.
Yeah, and here comes the break in fuel tech. And look, I'll show you again what happened yesterday. I was only willing to short this name, so completely missed out on the break. And I'm not saying over and over, I'm not saying it's going to do this again. But either way, there were 2 short levels I liked. That 115 area where we took it out. The pre-market 117 area, we did take it out. That I shorted off of the 125. It broke, reversed into the long. I just got some at 138, so I mean, that's going to be 10% as well from the breakout price, but it is 40 to 50 that's the ultimate target. I'm only holding about a quarter of the position left, so if it does start to roll over, I do have the opportunity to get into the short. It was 140 to 150 where I was targeting, so that's why I'm not all flat just yet on F-Tech, Fuel Tech. Moderna, I mean, it literally just went 30 or 40 cents against me, so I was going to go over my stop area, and then it comes right back to flat. So Moderna is still going sideways, which is a good sign for that rollover, potential rollover.
Forgot about that one. We went and refilled the water there, so not refilled, we got it. It's a nice juicy one here. And guys, guess what? I got you, Dan McIsaac. Here we go. Ready? Lower your microphone or your headset, because bang, jokes. Lice it along here, guys. 1975 all the way up. It's just another 50-cent winner for your boy. Thank you to Dan for bringing this up to us. But here we go, man. I'm hitting the keys and hitting the right ones as we go long on Workhorse, guys. All the way back to the upside. Brendan, give it.
Another one, yeah, wow, Workhorse, what a move. Mankind here, another one, just straight higher today. This is 52-week highs for another little biotech, up 12% for Mankind. Don't see any significant news on this one, but nice move, 275 up to 320 for Mankind. Valeria's watching what's going on over in Europe. About an hour left over there. V, what's up?
Hey, Brandon, European shares are losing their 8-month highs due to rising COVID-19 cases. Burberry reported a 75% profit loss, but said that its sales returned to growth in October. Back to you.
Yeah, some of the, I noticed some of the higher end apparel makers over there in negative territory today, guys.
Here comes Moderna heading to the southbound side, but a Pinduoduo testing right back up towards that opening range. And when it flushed, it did pull back into 137. It just failed a little bit lower than that. So again, putting in lower highs, pre-market, opening range, and then now here again just after 10 o'clock. It did grind higher. We talked about the dip range 125 to 129. It did turn around right in the middle of that range, so it should be a good call, but it didn't get me an entry at 125, unfortunately. If it rolls downside from here, you're probably looking at waiting for like 132 to go for a short side trade. And then the important thing is, can it hold this little top end? I do have to go back over to finally to Moderna. It is starting to roll, but that fuel tech, if you're taking a breakout trade, I did give a target out 140 to 150. It got close, but ultimately I'm not going to let this turn into a loser when I want to be short this name overall. So I do get out here on the way back. It was a 26 reversal to the long. I'll just take this out here. The last 20%, it's not a heck of a lot at 27. So it's going to be a winning trade on the long side. I'm not covering Moderna until we get down towards 86 even. From there, I do feel like there's a lot of room to still come back in on this name. Now, of course, you don't chase the profits from before or chase the loss, whatever it might be. But if it breaks VWAP, I do want to make sure I hang on to this 85 to 85.25 range.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to just looking at, I'm trying to learn from my mistakes, but look at Workhorse, guys. Line those pins up, hit them down. 70-cent winner now on Workhorse. This is what I'm talking about right now. This is a 3-minute chart. We've been long here, Palantir, 09s. What's my price? 09s. Yeah, we averaged in, got these longs right now, and then just got them out here. 29s and 30s on the high side there. This might look a little bit better on a 1-minute chart. There it is. Yeah, buying the dips there, and now, just protecting that 15, and now taking it out, 25s, 30s, making some money back, man. But it's been an absolute perfect day for us right here. Apple making new highs right now. We're long at 120.07. Brandon, give me some good news about something.
Well, I wish I could. My chart just crashed. I was going to tell you about some solar stocks here, but let's have a look at FSLR first. This is a daily chart, just broke back below $85. If I flip over to this one, SOL, Rensola, 15% to the upside today, approaching 52-week highs up here around 450. This one definitely leading as far as some of the solars are concerned today, guys.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that space as well. And look, we're shorting in penny stock territory, but you also have to look over, don't forget First Solar, not making too many moves, but it was that sundial that I've been watching. It is back in towards, and you do have to watch out when it made that bit of a move. I talked about 40 cents. It didn't quite get there, unfortunately. That's where I would have liked to turn. That's why you didn't see me dip into the short trade, but it has already started to come back in, and it was 35 to 36 we liked before. So as long as it wants to remain the weak name that we can beat up on, it might be time to get into position on this one. As I said with Moderna, you're going to see it in the money about 40 cents. I'll take some off a little closer to VWAP and see if we can't work it down to 85. Market looking strong. Moderna, a bit of a different play. It's just a coronavirus vaccine. Good news, fade the news. The first look didn't work. Let's see if we can't try it a second time. But I'm going to start getting into some sundial. As Brendan mentioned, if you're going to get a secondary push in some of these solar names, and this is the one that I like to fail. If it goes here, this is where I want to short it.
All right, guys, just the money keeps falling down for us here as Apple, we just take it out at 20. It's only 13 cents, and I'm like, was obviously expecting more, so we'll take out a third right now at 120.20, just because, look, it just keeps bouncing. So Apple's at the high of the day, and I'm long. Your boy's going to take some out. Here we go, Palantir. I feel you now. All right, up to 35, making a little bit back. Nowhere near what we need, unfortunately. But Palantir, a nice little long at 15.09. Now taking some out at 35 and just making paper cuts back, guys. Workhorse coming back in. Let's take this off right now if we can. And there it is, Workhorse for a nice little win. Hit the backflips again. Thank you for joining us, guys. Like everything today. If you can, share, subscribe. We're doing the show completely for free, so get some likes going for us, please, and share, subscribe, do all of that. It's very important also today. We have coming up, guys, Brent Suen, President Executive Chair, guys, Logic. So you're going to see that, or is it Logic IQ? Brendan, I think, knows the official name, but it's a big stock. We're going to get some names on that, get some talk with the CEO here and Executive Chair, President. Good interview coming up, guys. 11:45. I almost said 11:30. That's what's coming up soon. So stay tuned for that.
Be ready at 11:30. Be ready at 11:30. Just come out at 11:45, but you got to make sure you're paying attention so you're not caught off guard there. I talked about this in Boeing a couple of times. There's a bounce off VWAP. some consolidation off of 180, so just dip back into a trade here, and just sort of going to try and rinse and repeat. We're 1 for 2 on this, but you give the tighter stops and let it run a little bit further than that. So if the risk reward is good and the trend is up and the market is trying to grind higher, ES is almost positive here. Let's see if it can't get going. I'm just going to do the same thing in Boeing. I'll take some out when it gets to like 50 cents, 60 cents of a scalp, and then try and ride the rest through a high-end break. At some point, if it goes, fantastic. Negative to positive would be 182 and change on Boeing, so I'd be elated if we can get a couple of dollars on this play, but I'll scalp it first.
I like that, guys. Someone in the chat there, Sean is the stock whisperer. Okay, I'll take it. I like the dog whisperer. It's a good show. My family likes to watch that. Cesar Milan there. Okay, Fisker making moves now. I'm long Fisker from the SPAC. What are those things called? SPAC, yeah. SPAQ was the symbol, though. So off of SPAC here, turns into Fisker. I'm still long this name in my portfolio, but it's right around here, man, 14 or so dollars. I just expected Fisker to maybe go a little bit more, 14.75 here. Let's go into like a 15-minute, 10-minute chart here. See what Fisker's doing up here. 15, what is this? 15.75, 14.75. Yeah, let's go long Fisker, guys, breaking out as well here. If you missed the other EV space, I think you got a chance here now with Fisker, guys.
I want to give you guys back over to Sino. If it breaks 230, sorry, 240 through the bottom, I'm going to be short that one for sure. But it has to break the top bottom or go back to $3 and give me an entry point. Pinduoduo, on the other hand, it is cracking down towards this 132 that I just mentioned. So if this breaks, going to be jumping back into the retracement chart. I know the market's going to the upside. Pinduoduo up so much, 20% on the session still, even with that pullback, guys. I'm going to beat up on it again. 132. If that breaks, we're going short.
Okay, guys, and everything we touch today, golden there. We do the belly dance there. That's for you, Karen. And you can see this one going to the high side. We just touched this. You just saw me put this bid in and take this long. So bang, out 85, out 95 there on FSR. We still hold a little bit. Oh, yeah, Apple, how you doing, baby? Boom! Nice little move to the upside as Superman loves Apple. And why not? Apple, the best stock. Eat your apples, trade your apples, and an apple a day does keep the doctor away. But if you're long Apple, you can pay those doctor bills with us, so you don't have to worry about that.
We don't pay them here in Canada, but you could anyways.
Yeah, you could. So anyways,
guys, Boeing breaking to the upside here towards the high. I'm going to take the scalp out, but if it takes out the high, it's a hold on Boeing if it breaks the high of the day at 181.40, guys. So dip buying on Boeing all session long. We'll continue to hold the break as long as it wants to go up.
Okay. Apple, guys, like we were saying, yeah, in Canada, we pay a ridiculous amount of taxes. So you get free healthcare as we go. But our roads are nice, right? Lots of construction, that's for sure. Apple was up there at 120.40. I'm debating taking some of this out at some point upside because, look, the NASDAQ, I just think like right now we're just kind of hovering around. It's not doing a whole hell of a lot. So 111.96, like we have to take out the highs. We're already out of a third, and I think this is probably a decent spot right now, 120.40, but I want this thing to run. So we still have that one. Fisker, Neil, breaking 15, and your boys got this one as well. So barbecuing up some winners here today for all of you. So thank you so much for watching the show. And yeah, we're positive on absolutely everything today, minus my boy Palantir, guys.
I remember Palantir earnings coming after market. If you haven't been paying attention, somehow you have to be. Like if you haven't been, I don't know what you've been looking at here, guys. Moderna is rolling through VWAP, and I promised you guys I would take some profit down if it broke towards it. So there you go. It was an 86.80 short that we had. A couple of legs on sideways action, able to get in at exactly the price we want. If it breaks into this range in the bottom, I'm looking for 85 as an ultimate target. I'm just getting some orders in on the way down. If I see some serious like bid pulling or whatever you want to call it. Like if I see the bid start to evaporate on the way to that 85, I kind of want to hold on to that last quarter, maybe cancel the bid and see if it doesn't run back in towards some of those lows. I mean, the initial short, I did get bottom wick out, but of course I did re-enter when it popped back up, and it was still in that window in that first 15 minutes that I wanted to play the reversal trade. So let's see if we can go 2 for 3 on Moderna. Obviously, this one will look pretty if it gets back below 85. I will reload on Boeing if it comes back in, but it's still trending towards the upside, so all systems go on that long trade market. About to turn positive. That's why I want to hold Boeing through the high of the day. If Boeing's breaking the high of day and the ES is breaking into positive territory, you hold it when the market goes in your favor like that and you got a price you like.
All right, just putting out a tweet there about this Fisker trade. Very, very happy with this one as it's still going. And look at Palantir now back to the high side. So right now, guys, kind of feeling like we're running away with some cash here on the market as we're perfect today. It's been a big, big day, man. Workhorse, let's see how big this one is. Damn it, we got out at $20.07 as now we go to the high side. That was a big win. Apple now 41 cents in the money. We'll probably take a little bit of this out right now. Apple, hells yeah, we'll do Superman one more time as we get ready for the real Superman at the big screen. Give it over to Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500 back to the downside once again today, but only just 0.13% in negative territory. Actually, a little deceiving as far as the board is concerned today. You can see lots of red here, but healthcare stocks are kind of offsetting things so far. BIOTMO here in the pharmaceutical group, offsetting PFE and LLY. So both Pfizer and Eli Lilly downside 2+% there, but these two kind of getting rid of that. So the entire equipment maker group in positive territory outside of a couple here, but the rest really offsetting that nicely. 2+% lifting the entire group to the upside. There we go. That went away there for a second for some reason. FE, ATO, and VRG, 2.5% to the downside in the utility sector. This entire sector also in negative territory. I just saw when I came up here. Fox and Fox A, almost 4% to the downside. All about the banks, though. The banks kind of dragging the market to the downside. Diversified financials, the entire sector in negative territory. The individual banks here, all of them as well in negative territory. JP Morgan there, FRC, PBCT, MTB, TFC, to name a few, but every single one to the downside. Insurance companies are lower as well. Even the tech sector back to the downside today. You can see the hardware equipment makers, basically the whole group lower. Talked about that one. ServiceNow earlier, 3.6% to the upside in the software group, but GPN, DXC, and FLT all offsetting that. So banks and tech stocks weighing on the market so far today. We are lower, but as I mentioned, only just 0.14% for the S&P, guys. Back over to you.
All right, guys.
It's going to take you guys back over to Moderna. It's still in the money about $1 or so, but on to newer things. There was a rollover on Sundial. I was trying to get passive on this name, and you can see my order here. I can go ahead and cancel this. Right when it rolled, this is exactly when I was telling you guys to go short in Sundial. And of course, not too overly active in terms of hitting that bid. It is short sell restricted, so I need an uptick to get into that short. If I was maybe trying a little bit harder, certainly could have had it down here. If it breaks the bottom, I still wouldn't be concerned with shorting it through that low 33s. If Moderna goes back upside, I've already taken half out. I'm not reloading at this point. No need to chase it. I'll play within that range. I can maintain my stop rather than change it. Just going back over to the shippers, if CNO breaks 240, I'm going short, but PXS was the other name in that space. If this breaks $1, it's holding 102, 103, and most of these names are coming back in. One Euro Dry had earnings and it dragged the others to the upside. Looks like they're all starting to fade back in, but PXS could break $1. When it goes penny stock status, I'll be in that party as well. There goes Moderna, $1.20 on that little winner, so we'll go Mortal Kombat action on this. And the reason why I'm going to call it, I don't know why we're hiding that. The reason why I'm going to call it a perfect trade is because instead of revenge trading it right away, waited for the next setup on Moderna, and then quickly took it when we got that consolidation. I'll still give it to that lower day, and I want more of a winner. But PXS, the new order, if it breaks $1, I'm going short.
Okay, guys, and yeah, there goes Fisker. Good trading on Fisker, man. We're almost out of everything now on Fisker. Big time moves to the high side there. Congratulations, anybody long with me. Like, EV Space today has just been an absolute monster, man. XPEV, like, again, I just don't know why we don't. If you go over to Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter right now. I put all of these levels on there talking about going long. NEO, 44, Li Auto, 27. And we were long all of these. XPEV, 36, right? There's the mistake. Palantir at the bottom. Apple, there's Apple, 120. There's Microsoft, 218. Get out of here. That's all cash money for you. Follow me on Twitter every day. I'll continue to post these for you, and you can hit those winners with us. Long, just follow me, and you should be okay, hopefully. We're in a little bit of a winning streak, so I don't know if you've noticed that. But yeah, the last couple of days have been absolutely monstrous, and we just continue to cash in for you, and really, really proud to do that. The only thing that we've messed up today, and admittedly so, is not Hertz. It is Palantir, as we were long here, long, and got out when the the 15 breaks and breaks down here, long again break, so on and so forth. But now we're trying this, and then I'm waiting for 1550 to break, and then that should be an upside win for us if we can get that on Palantir. We're waiting for it. Apple's been a good one as well, in here at 20, out at 2021, and then out again at 47. So that's been a big trade for us. But it's been a fun day, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you're long EV space, congratulations.
Level. I still had the breakdown that I'm going to take that trade. It just hasn't quite cracked it. It is trying to go lower here, and the market just slid to the downside. Thankfully for the long position in Boeing, I still have the opportunity for that to break the high with the ES. It is still grinding higher, even with this muted pullback. I'm still hanging on to this. This is not one of those situations where I'm going to cover the rest of this trade in front of that high. I'm looking for a breakout through the high of day in Boeing. It has yet to turn green on the session. That would be at 182. It's not always the most volatile name, but if it breaks out of this little range here, you could see a push into that 192. So for the next couple of days, I'll be trying to buy dips in Boeing in front of that price.
Yeah, Boeing's been a great runner for us for a while, so a good look there on Boeing. Palantir, okay, we just talked about that, so we could skip it, but I am noticing that this 38, where we keep getting out, looks to be a little bit of a wall there, so we'll try to get out again at 38 and then just wait to see what happens. We'll hold a little bit, but we'll wait to see what happens at that spot there. Apple, I don't really have any spots to get out other than highs of day. VWAP is moving its way upside. This cannot be a negative trade. I'm just thinking if we break down below here, maybe 1984 or so is a spot where we could get out. So that's something that I'm looking at there on that name, and that is Apple, but we're still going high. So if we can make some more wins on that one, we're making all the money back right now, by the way, that we lost on Palantir. And so now we're back to 15.10. Let's check out NEO, guys. We joked about this getting to $50, and joke no more. What a great long. Couple big longs there were here. I could show the Twitter, but you guys can go to my Twitter handle and see that we talked all about these spots for you on all of these names, man. Lee Otto, because Twitter is a little bit, I don't know if you guys want to go there or not, but there it is. If you can't see, go, and you'll see all of those levels. I post them every single day, and thank you for all the love and the support that you guys give every day to me over there. It's absolutely fantastic. Tweet me, ask me any questions you want from there. Oh, if you're a member, we do go live it's almost actually it's not almost, but we're coming up to the last Monday of every month. For everybody that's a member, for $5, we do, the four of us do an hour and a half one-on-one talk there, 4-on-1, whoever wants to watch, you get a private link there. Please subscribe to that, but hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. We're looking for more subscribers. We've already cracked 100K, right? So that's the VOV here. You guys saw that one. Empty now. We'll look to get a little bit more once we get to 250,000. I think should be our next goal, and I think we're going to get that faster than we got to 100, guys.
Gonna go with slaying some dragons because I hear we're gonna go to Brendan, so let's get his face across the screen. I talked about Pinduoduo a couple of times in preparation for this break at 132. Got it at 90. I've already taken some out for like $1.15, and then the rest we'll see if it can't level off. I wanted to, that 125 to 129 area that we talked about pre-market here, I wanted to break down into that range, and I'm anticipating a bounce, so I'd like to use that momentum, hopefully, to get me out for a $3 win on the rest of these shares. I will move my stop. I would have previously gotten out if we crack back above VWAP, but I'll tighten things up to like a 132.50, just not to have this turn into a losing trade. Brennan, what do you got for us, buddy?
What about some of the weakness we were seeing in the airline group a little bit earlier? Just saw a headline suggesting 90,000 plus workers in that sector going to be let go by either the end of this year or next year. So still some uncertainty as far as the airlines are concerned. UAL still down here 1.2% if we flip over to the other one. On the NASDAQ, positive for AAL, but as I mentioned earlier, if I go over to this one, Southwest, what a day this thing's had. Still kind of holding near the top end of the range. Yeah, negative, but definitely as far as the intraday action is concerned, this one leading the way to the upside, guys.
All right, people asking for the handle. I put it up there. NIO breaks through 47 now. Wow, shnikes. Okay, Palantir. I see you, Palantir. Out right there, 38. Like we said, now we're trying to break a little bit higher just to make sure where my buy is at 51. We could take off some of these. I just want to go long through 50 again and just give this one a test to go. I can make it all back if it goes, but we need it to go first before we're saying silly things like that. But yeah, right now, Palantir looking to break out. My eyes going everywhere because we got big winners right now. Apple back to the day's high. That's a banger there. Cooking up the profits today, man. Fisker right now as well. Upside. That's a big winner. Let's check back in on Workhorse. Schnikes. Why did we not hold Workhorse to the upside? Everything blowing up, man. NEO. I was hella long down here. Like the more shares in NEO than sometimes I normally have. Wish we would have not gotten so, I don't know, cheap with it and gotten out at this VWAP spot there. This was a $1.70 winner upside on NEO, but I had no idea it would turn out to be a $3 winner. What can we do? Oh, there it is. We'll say what's up to some of these guys here. Thank you, the Monkey Shiner. Look, any of these contributions mean a lot to us, so thank you so much for continuing to support us. Thank you for the shout on FSR. Hey, man, you are welcome. And thank you, what's up, Mayor Thacker. We'll see who that is. We have a friend, maybe, who that is. The Monkey Shiner. Thank you so much for that. And guys, look, if you're long, I don't want to tell you guys to sell NEO, but this upside on NEO has just been monstrous. I'll throw it back to Neil, but you guys can look at a daily chart, man. My opinion would be is pigs get slaughtered, so don't try to be Superman. Just get out of some of these NEO shares if you do have a decent win. Do I hear Brendan there? No, not Brendan.
I think we're going over to, you know what time it is. It's 10:50. Got to get over to Money Talks.
Hey guys, let's go to currency land. Bit of a muted session, kind of a wait and see type of attitude or sentiment in equities. Same thing in the currency markets the past couple of days. You can see pretty red right across the board so far today. We are seeing a little bit of US dollar strength coming back in. The pound is weak. I threw the pound up over on the chart there. You can see we topped out 132.5, back down to 131-ish. For the British pound, but lower again today for the second day in a row, 131.3 there, down 0.6%. The Canadian dollar lower again today as well, 76.25, down about 0.4%. The euro's higher, only just though. It was actually negative early on this morning. You're going to see the Japanese yen, Swiss franc back to the downside. Australia, New Zealand, same story, only just, but negative. Bitcoin, Ethereum, kind of on opposite paths today. We had Bitcoin negative early, but went positive, and vice versa for Ethereum. So Bitcoin back to the upside, 2%. We're back above 16,000 again for Bitcoin. Guys, back over to Sean.
Are we ever? I just went over there to GBTC. I haven't made any trades today. I just tried to get that long and it didn't go. So we'll wait on GBTC. But if you are looking to trade Bitcoin, no better than Instrument. You don't have access to a crypto exchange, Coinbase, something like that, you can use GBTC there over on the OTCX. So shout out to Jeffrey Mendel on that one, a good friend of the show, as you guys know. Been on here a couple times, VP over there at OTC Markets. So good little look there. That's GBTC. Other than that, man, Palantir failing at 50. So I think it's worth getting out of some of these shares maybe now at 46. I just got out at 49 as well. If we're going to go long at 50, guys, let's just capture the profits right here then and get some out before we punch the long through 50. You guys are welcome, man. Thank you so much to you, Trader Joe. I like your store, I like your picture, and I like that contribution. And again, guys, any contributions you guys can make is fantastic, but we do the show every day for you here, so we're just going to continue to rock and roll and jam out on this show for you every single day. Looking for Palantir to break, guys. Big win. Look what we have. 38 cents on Palantir, right? 25 cents on Fisker. Apple, we're just letting it go, but we just let that fall down. We'll probably get out of that one soon, but it's been a big day, guys. Profits everywhere. Give it to them again, B.
10:52. Someone spilled the beans on MoneyGram here. Earnings are out, it looks like, for MGI. Big spike, 625 up to 660 on a volume alert as well. It looks like earnings came out a little bit early here for MoneyGram. They appear to be better than expected, guys.
And look, that's going to happen from time to time. You do get that earnings drop a little bit early. If I can say one thing, sometimes you really do have to avoid revenge trading. But if you have a positive setup, if you've got a positive expectancy, you've got to take it. I said this a couple of times ago when I got blown out in the morning, and I got blown out on a Moderna short. But it is with my plan. Maybe the execution on this entry here, right about like 9:34, so it was a little bit early. But I was going to lose every single time. When I get the second shot at this, the sort of failed breakout through the high, and then the consolidation lower, I know it's a good trade for me, so I have to take it. It just broke down towards the low, not bottom wick. but it's pretty close to it. So right back to that 84. I said if I saw the bid evaporate, I would cancel an 85 bid and allow it to fall to me. That's what exactly happened. I had the second rollover. The bid disappeared. I was able to get it out there. So you get a nice little 250 winner, maybe a little bit more than that if you got a perfect exit price, but a good one on there. I still have this Boeing, but it is sort of running out of steam, guys. I still want it to break that high of day. It still hasn't given any real pullbacks into VWAP. Now, the flip side of this is if I saw this setup on a stock that I was bearish on, I'd be shorting it. The difference is I'm looking to buy dips on Boeing. It's held VWAP the entire way up. So I'm going to play this trend upside just in case it does break. Every now and then, you're going to have a bias that you might want to hopefully work to your advantage. And as long as I see this continue the trend to the upside, I want to have a net long position in Boeing.
Grape here. Yeah, we'll hit the fruit salad soon, but I'm just eating these grapes, and I've been telling you guys how great these grapes have been, and they just continue to be great here. So thank you to the pickers of grapes and growers as well. Apple down here, coming back a little bit. I'm not worried about it. It's nothing. We are now long still Fisker, as now Fisker breaks highs of the day. So yeah, what a cash cow today. These EV names have been, I know both Neil and I have been trading those names. You can see at the bottom kind of the damage that's been done, but I'm embarrassed because we didn't hold anything, honestly. Like Lee Auto, man, we're long at 27, you're at $30. Like, give me a break. XPEV, guys, we're long at 36. Yeah, you're at 41. XPEV, holy crap. And then everything else making moves now. Even Fisker, man, this is another big win for the portfolio today. Oh, let's check out Donkey Kong. Talking about portfolios, you guys know we're long this one in the mid-30s, 41.50. This hasn't been a great day trade lately, which is why we're leaving it alone. Same as Nikola. Like, you guys know that I'm all over these names, and I love these names and love to trade them. But, you know, when it looks like this, other than this break right here, and I don't even know what it's breaking, like VWAP, no, because here's a fake on VWAP again, so I don't take that. But right now, DraftKings, really not super exciting to me. Not when the EV space is doing what it's doing, guys. Today's a monster day for me, so we're really, really happy. But most of the money coming from the EV space, guys. And look at Palantir. Like, I've got my read back on with this stock. Like, just look at these bottoms. Unfortunately, I got a little carried away here. Traded my own book. We talked about not trading it today. I couldn't help myself. We went long, lost a lot of money, made some back here at 15, got it back to 15.50. Noticed a stopping point there. So, yeah, pretty happy with Palantir the last little bit.
This time I will take the consolidation on Sundial instead of just talking about how I want to short this one. Like, I did make an effort to short it at 36 when I was telling you guys about this name. It is still trending lower, and I'm still going to like this pretty much every single consolidation level as long as the volume is good. It's done 75 million. That's a prerequisite for anything that's going to be a penny stock. Not worth your time if it's not going to be doing solid volume. Boeing again to 181. And turning around here. So, look, the bet's on ultimately with this name, and you certainly see the market still trying to grind higher, but it is running into a bit of trouble. It is 11 o'clock. Let's keep in mind here it gets to that lunchtime thing. So there is the possibility that this could be hold it through lunch. It bounces off VWAP a couple of times. I would still reload at the bottom if I get an opportunity and then keep scalping it within that range, looking for maybe an afternoon or power hour type break. Sometimes that's just the way that it goes. I still want to be that net long that Boeing, but the new position for me is Sundial, and it will soon be Sino as well. It just hasn't broken 240, and I want to play the middle of the range in SINO. I don't want to play this little bit of the range. It did give the breakout trade. I did take a winner on the break, and it came right back down. Now if it takes out 240 or retests and fails, I don't care where it is as long as it's below 325 and above VWAP here. If it does a fail at that price, I would probably short it. Otherwise, it's a 240 break on SINO. Trying to be patient with this one. It was fantastic in the pre-market, and then it stunk right at the open. Let's see if we can't wait for the right entry, the good one that we're going to be looking for here. Boeing right into that reload range. If it cracks down any lower, not quite there actually yet. It needs to get about 30 cents or so, and I'll buy some more Boeing. Just trying to play the dip every single time off VWAP. 2 for 3 already on it, and I probably didn't have a wide enough stop in the time that I lost.
Guys, can we check? I haven't seen the earnings board yet. Is DraftKings after market today? If so, then yeah, I'll be a little more spicy into that name. I do see some people talking about that on the chat. So if DraftKings is after market, then yeah, I take it back a little bit there, and we will be very interested in what DraftKings is going to be doing, but maybe not till later on. DKNG, I just realized I'm on Palantir. DraftKings, we will see what's going to happen after the afternoon as it gets closer to like 3 o'clock. We'll see the move that it makes there, especially if there is. Earnings on DraftKings. I apologize. There's been so many earnings and we're so busy doing this. I should know as a stockholder, but I hold over 30 different names in my portfolio. But DraftKings definitely one of them. And we'll see what comes with earnings, guys. I'm always excited about earnings, but today, no bigger earnings than, for me anyways, than Palantir after market. You'll see me tweet about that at about 4 o'clock. Let's go over to Valeria. Hi, Valeria. How are you? Over there at the big screen with Europe.
Hey guys, Europe mostly in a negative territory due to rising COVID cases. Russia is up 0.36%. France is down 1.24%. Germany is down 1.18%. And Britain is down 0.73%. London's Burberry is down more than 2%, as it reported is 75% profit loss. Back to traders.
I'll double check to see if it's a pre or post, but I know DraftKings is tomorrow. When
Someone
I
just posted said Friday morning, so.
Yeah, so it looks like it's before the open, so you're going to be able to play it. You're all going to be able to play it there into tomorrow's action. And certainly, it's going to be. I hate to make predictions of what will be on our watch list, but obviously it's going to be on the watch list. I think we can all agree on that. That PXS is bouncing off that dollar. I still have the opportunity. I am going to go short. I just reloaded in Boeing as well, so you're going to see that one. Look, I mean, I've been long Boeing for most of the morning here, just an adjustment on the price, and that's going to be because I took another dip buy, and that's essentially the name of the game here. It dipped into VWAP, and a little bit more patient. I feel like I may have got in a little bit too early this time and then that time here, but either way, if we continue to grind higher, I'll scalp 50 to 80 cent wins and then hold for a bigger move. I'm also looking to take more shares short of Sundial. That is the negative pick, I guess we'll call it, in the renewable space. That one easier to beat up on, guys.
Okay, just reading some emails here. Yeah, look, this is going to be an exciting one. I still have FSR. Look, these are both in the money, 25 cents, identical. Apple and Finsar right now, or Fisker up to the high side right now. We're still going to hold on to both of these as we'll just see what the NASDAQ wants to do. I'm just getting a little bored of this NASDAQ right here, so we will watch out. I mean, the market's not doing anything. So Apple, we've been killing it today with one trade. We wish we had a little bit more action on Apple, but back to 120 is a fantastic spot here for Apple. And again, one of the best stocks, I think, anyways, in the marketplace. So hold it, and you will be rewarded for a while. Buy dips here. And we actually did a show yesterday. It says stocks to hold, not own. Apple, or not to trade. Apple, one of those stocks for sure for me, that's for sure. But here we go to the high side. I did want to remind everybody that coming up at 11:45, interview here, Logic, Brett Suen coming up, Brent coming up. Brent, oh yeah, Brent, not Brendan. Brent coming up with Brendan to talk everything about IQ. So that's going to be a good one. Check out these companies before they hit the market hard, and you'll be able to get in on some of these names. What is ACB doing? ACB still coming to the downside, it looks like. I was looking for some breaks. The last order I put in was to buy 760. That's VWAP up here. Still making moves to the downside. Poor cannabis names. We have Mendocolo back on, as you guys remember. They're making marijuana, growing it in Colombia for 4 cents a gram. So not very profitable business if you're not in Colombia, I feel.
Apparently so, and we'll try to keep the jokes away from that one because they're probably going to write themselves. I want to get over to iMac. I do believe we touched on this. I think Brendan at least touched on this name on our watch list off the open. This went parabolic and broke to the upside. I was a little bit scared off by it, at least in terms of some of the bid action that it did have. But it is now coming all the way back to where this whole party started at 155. We've seen this in the past, secondary pushes in the afternoon. This one is going to fit that bill. If volume comes into this and we have not violated this 150 to 155 area, it has a good chance to break upside. Maybe you're looking at like a 170, 175 jailbreak. Very similar, and I actually have 2 of these on right now, SINO and PXS. If either breaks the bottom, I'm going short, and I hate adding a third, but the setup is there, so I will be also shorting this one at 155. Boeing is bouncing a little bit. It's only 25 cents the money when it goes 50-60. I will take some out for profit, hold the rest for a break of the high of the day, and then rinse and repeat over and over again in Boeing. That's just going to be how I'm going to play it. Fuel Tech, this is one that we did reverse into a long. The only one that I shorted and went into a long trade in with success was Fuel Tech. It is now holding lower. Volume is dying down. 125 was that target price for me. So once it's below there, I can think about a consolidation short as well in fuel tech. Not to say that I'm going to be in every single one of these positions, but I have a plan of action for fuel tech, Sundial, which I'm already in, Sino, and then you go back to some of those other names when it comes to those shipping companies, and we're all over each and every single one of them. So PXS as well if it breaks the bottom.
Guys, I mean, I don't know what else to do. We're just barbecuing up the winners. It's the same positions, and we're holding them for a damn good reason because we just keep breaking higher. I made the mistake of dumping all of my winners way too early. One in here on XPEV, man. And yeah, wow, what that stock's doing. Like, by doing the show, I'm learning and becoming so much a better trader. It's unbelievable. Like, if I was sitting here normally, this is what I normally would do. But I got to understand that these moves have legs, man, and that we can hold some of these. So I'm just like a pure scalper at heart. And, you know, I figure that I'm super disciplined, and that's why we take some of these out. But I got to be a little more reckless, I think, and hold on to some of these trades just a little bit longer. And I don't think it's reckless. It's just, you know, it has to be my new strategy. I mean, these stocks are off, man. NEO, I was long NEO hundreds of shares down here, $44. Like, embarrassing. What up, B?
Lee and XPEV, both all-time highs today on that earnings. Another one from the Clean Renewable Fuels group, I guess. CLNE, 5.3%. $3 up here is kind of the last line as far as resistance is concerned. No news or earnings on this name, but a big mover today as well on big time volume, CLNE. Guys.
From that space over to this one, and they haven't been ungrounded yet, but the earliest date could be for Boeing, and we mentioned this early in the week. It could be the 18th that the 737 MAX does get back officially. Allowed to fly in the air. Either way, we've been playing some positive action today. I just got that dip buy off VWAP at 180. Like I said I would, we take out like 65 cents worth of a win. It was like going to be 60 to 80 pennies. Wherever it happened to slow down, I was just going to take it. And then we're going to continue to hold a net long position as long as we're trying to break through the high. The market, if it turns positive, this is why I want to be able to hold. Sino does break that 240, so I am into that short. That was one of the names I listed. If it broke the bottom, I was going to take the short trade in. No shorts on Boeing for me. Even if it breaks below VWAP, I know, you know, obviously if the market fails and rejects here, it could turn into a decent scalp short on Boeing. I'm just going to stick and play it to the side that I like, just to be disciplined in that regard. So Boeing still holding longs. Just got into a Sino short at 238.
Okay, we took out some Fisker there. It goes to 1540. We get out, and I want to say thank you so much again for your contribution. And then the Monkey Shiner making me feel a lot better. Look, Sean, great call on EVs. Who know how far these things would run, and you're 100% right, man. I'm just going to take the profits when it's there. You know, some people talking scalping, no problem. Zoom long. Okay, Dan, I'll see you. You've had some good calls there today, so let's take a quick look at ZM for everybody. Thank you for putting that. And again, more likely to see you guys. Obviously, anybody that's a member is going to come up green. It's $5 a month. I'll try my best if I see you to talk about the stocks, especially during the slower times like we are right now, guys. So right here, Zoom, okay, not bad actually. Trying to break out here, Dan. I actually like this call. Yeah, not horrible. What is this? 428. We could go back a couple days here. Okay, we're up a lot, so nothing in the last couple days. 428 here, looking to break out. 420. I mean, maybe this 429. If I can draw a little bit of a ellipse right here. This is something that maybe we have to get down because we tank and then we kind of bottom right here. This is not bad. Like if you want to start building something, 427.25 break is pretty good. If you do like the short though, look, with COVID ramping up, I do not like the short on Zoom. And what's up again with another Jose? Thank you so much. Thank you. Don't thank us. Thank you. Well, you're welcome, but thank you for the super chat and thank you for watching the show. Everything is great. Yeah, I'll check out Fastly, Apple falling. Yeah, I know, guys. I'm in all of these names, so don't worry. Nicola, everything's here. We'll just keep checking them for you.
I'm going to come back to an updated position here. I talked about beating up on Sundial. Look, it rolled over several times here. We did get the final one at 35. It breaks down towards the low of the day at 33, and so I will take some out. I have another bid down here just trying to cover some shares. If it breaks the low, I'm holding, not covering it all. That's going to be the name of the game. I want to stay on the short side trade as long as, look, they had poor earnings. This had gone parabolic with the rest of the alternative energy space. And if you haven't been paying attention, I think we all know why that has been the case. And if we break this low, I think we're headed right back into this 22 to 25 cent range. So there's plenty of room to go on Sundial. And I want to make sure that I am short as we go into it. Brendan has something for us.
Denali, DNLI Therapeutics Company with a Morgan Stanley price target increase today. Another one that's had quite the move through 66 there at the open was nice. We're at $70 for DNLI. Look at this daily chart, 46 a week ago for this one, guys.
That's pretty. That's a pretty looking chart, and I feel like we've talked about the fantastic guests we're coming through, and I think it's, whether you invest in some of these names or not, it's all about expanding your horizons in terms of learning more. And along that note, I think maybe you should put the phone down before you trade so you can be focused. But it is earnings season. Sean had already mentioned that DraftKings is going to be a big one. So why not learn about 3 trades to put on, or that you can put on or add to your repertoire during earnings seasons to increase your profitability? So that's on our Market Wisdom page. Valeria will be dropping that link in about a half an hour or so. So obviously we're in the midst of earnings seasons. There's lots of names for us to be following on a daily basis. I'm shorting Sundial because, in part, because of those weak earnings. Li Auto, just to continue with that theme, they don't report till tomorrow either, but you are seeing a strong trend. This is with the overall space. Now, my only concern with Li Auto might be that, it's already sort of past this little breakout, so we don't need to talk about that. You're getting to a failed break at 30, which has already happened. Earnings that are coming tomorrow. It just would not surprise me to see a hard reversal going into the close, or at least at some point in the afternoon. And after failing at 30, that's just how my mind is working here. So obviously, if you have a great long here, was on the watch list. It was one of the breakout plays. Obviously, XPeng, I think, was maybe better. I don't know. Maybe Li Auto was better. But either way, I just think it might be a little overdone and could start coming back in throughout lunchtime and going into the close.
Yeah, Li Auto and XPeng just both monsters today. So you guys already know all about those stocks. Yeah, we'll wait to see on what Li Auto and XPeng want to do as far as pulling back in. Just for Apple here, this is a 50-cent winner. This is a 20-cent winner. And if we have to break down below VWAP, we will get out. So that'll be a 20-cent loser if we have to get out of that one, 119.82 or so on that. So we'll have to wait to see if that's going to come in or not. But that is Apple waiting on that VWAP trade. We're flat right now. We could get out. NASDAQ is pushing lower. I actually think maybe getting out of this probably is prudent, if we were smart about it, as the market looks to be coming back down. I'm still going to give it to here. We only have a third left. I hate dropping money, but the NASDAQ, yeah, it's coming down. I should have got out when I was talking about it for flat, but now we're going to get out here. If it does test 79, we will get out. What up, Christopher Chow with the Canadian dollars? Here, cheers to winning trades. You're welcome, man. Can't believe I wrote covered calls on NEO. YOLO trading. Yeah, we don't talk too much about options on there, but yeah, you're covered, so that's fantastic. NEO today, guys, what a big monster trade this was down here at 44. I can't believe I actually lost on this 44.81 as we got out, as it does break this bottom, but then we get right back in and we're like, I'm not going to do that on NEO. And then there's your XPEV trade, wow, to the high side. But yeah, we are breaking back down just a little bit on this NASDAQ falling here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I will say is if you have this execution, again, this is not even a big hit on Pinduoduo, but if you're shorting into the news like we said we would, and you get a flush like that, we were able to make a little bit back when it made another push down to 130, but you're seeing Pinduoduo recover just a little bit here. It's looking like it wants to be strong. It still hasn't taken out these tops. This is like 136, and then off the opening range, 137. I think that's going to be a bit of a bullish sign as well if we can get there. I am, like I said, I got back into that Sino, so we might as well update you guys. It's been some hot dog action on this name. Now it's come back down, and not to chase it too far. I was waiting on 3 separate names for them to break the bottom. The first to go was Sino. It works down towards 233, and the reason I'll start taking it off there, just to give you a look at the higher time frame, we can go to the 15-minute chart. Sorry, actually, let's go to the daily chart here. The reason I'll take it off here, there was heavy chop all the way down into this $2 range, which is the ultimate target. So you'll see me basically covering every 5 cents or so some shares all the way to $2 where it closed. Actually closed at 193, so just above that $2 mark. Either way, I'll be all flat at 2, like I said earlier on. New short here on Sino, and still waiting for that PXS to roll over at $1. I'll go short that one as well. Sundial still in the money. If it breaks 33, hold, not take off.
Yeah, Fisker right now moving around a bit. Here we do have a 94 there. I'm going to wait to get out a little bit here. If I can get some 97s, I'll take it. I mean, the spread here, did I just get those? No, we didn't. Did we? Yes, we did. Okay, there we go. So we just did get some 97s there on some of these dark prints out there. So again, sometimes it's worth hiding your orders on dark pools. Again, just because you don't necessarily want the algos to see you and then stop. Like if you're offering 98s, they may not hit 98s. See, like look what's happening. 97, 25s, all these Ds coming through. So not only do we try to do this, we're trying to educate you guys here as well. So big time trading happening. I hope you guys are enjoying the show and making some money with us, guys.
Yeah, and so like I said I would do here, just give you a visual representation of what it might be. And Sean made a great point about the dark pools. I mean, iceberg orders, lots of those things can be to your advantage. I find on the small caps, you don't necessarily have to do that as much. I think when you're trading in the bigger names, which have lots of volume, but not a lot of liquidity on level 2, you might have that concern. But, you know, here on SINO, you don't have to worry about it. Like I said, I'm going to have profit taking all the way down into $2. It is starting to roll over. I just got filled for a 10-cent winner, so 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way down to 2 even, where I will be flat. Brendan, what is up, my friend?
Fossil Group, another one with earnings. Didn't see this one in the pre-market, but FOSL looks like, yeah, they did actually report a profit, so better than expected for FOSL. You can see big move aftermarket 6 up to 8.5. Kind of sitting here though around 730, getting into a really, really tight little consolidation. Needs to hold 720 or might be in trouble for Fossil, guys.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. It was on my list this morning to have a look at, and the pre-market action just was nothing exciting. And I think that's one thing that you have to stick to. If you can want to play a stock, you can read an earnings report, and you can look at the preliminary look at the chart here, and then say, okay, well maybe there's going to be a bit of a trade. Then you'll see basically this sideways action on really, really low volume. You get a break to the upside that fails. It tries to hold below this level as well, and volume does not really kick in. You either had this trade off of the open. It didn't fail at a price that I was particularly interested in. There's just nothing about the setup that screamed a trade for me in Fossil. However, if you do have a quick look at the daily chart, just to have a quick look here, guys, it did make a bit of a top at that 880. So if it does make another run at that price in the afternoon, I think that would give me a short trade. Outside of that, let's try to stay disciplined and only trade what we see that we like. Just got another fill there, and it's going to be in Fuel Tech. FTech, so I talked about a few of these names coming to the downside. It does look like, yeah, I thought that might be the case. Maybe a bit of a bad wick. I wanted this one breaking down below 125. This is a lower consolidation. Obviously, I want to be taking more shares if it breaks below VWAP, but this was a breakout to the long that has now formed a bit of a consolidation lower. I think it's a safe short in front of 130, but I get more aggressive below 125 on Fuel Tech.
Okay, yeah, look, I haven't traded those names today, but we've just been in a lot of the active big cap names today. I should check out Alibaba. I see people talking. Once again, look, guys, you know, I did ask for the super chats. I mean, and I want to thank everybody for that. And Michael Gross, you're welcome, guys. You found the channel. Thank God you did. Dan McIsaac, I was just going to get to Rocket, Dan. Come on. You're like reading my mind there. So this is another name, guys, that we're going to very, very soon put into our portfolio. Rocket right now, formerly Quicken Loans Rocket. So we're going to watch out for them breaking out. And this is why, guys, it's breaking through 22. I may just put this in the account after the show. Again, we can't trade I can't trade while I'm on the show, but I can only trade doing this stuff, making those winners for you. But look, we're trying to break out right now. I was going to wait for 24, but I love that report. 22 may be a good long-term break. We're breaking through the 50 period. You do have a bottom of 2050. So I like Rocket here. I might switch out of JP Morgan and into Rocket after the show, guys.
Yeah, and just going to adjust some orders here on not just the Fuel Tech, but also on Sundial. I just got to think about what the plan of action is going to be. There's a bit of a bid that is forming at 33.50, and I talked about wanting to make sure that we hold through, and I'm still going to do that. But every time it bounces off a level like this, if it eventually breaks, I'm going to adjust just a little bit. I'm going to add to my position on a 33 break. I wasn't going to do it before. I was just going to hold and wait for some pops to come up. But I'm now going to take Sundial if it breaks 33. And I'm not covering any more shares down here. I'm only adding to my position. Boeing just broke to the upside as well, so I'm not adjusting my stop yet, but I was actually thinking about it. It's now over $1 in the money on that Boeing long, so I didn't get the last dip buy, but we did have a couple. Let's see if we can break out through the high of the day. This is happening without the market testing the positive territory on the ES, so all signs signs go for Boeing. Brennan, what's up, buddy?
More earnings, guys. Multiplan. This is one from the health group, formerly a SPAC, MPLN. Now Multiplan, which is an insurance provider and also are in the healthcare side of things. But they reported aftermarket yesterday. But this is another one. We were talking about MoneyGram. This is another one that somebody spilled the beans on yesterday late in the day. This is 2 o'clock, and this thing just fell off the face of the earth. So earnings worse than expected. We're right at this level for MPLN, down around 620, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much done with all of these SPACs right now. I mean, I saw SPAC didn't trade SPIQ, VTIQ. Obviously, those of you that are up to Nicola, you know about VTIQ. You had to have those shares first. Rocket Mortgage, they just came to market. So we're going to wait to see here, breaking through 22. I do like that. I don't want to forget about Zoom. I didn't give that call. I think it was 26. I thought it was 27s breaking there. We did not take it, and there it goes right now, breaking through VWAP. So that was another missed opportunity there on Zoom. Darn it, 27s was a good one there on Zoom. So thank you for bringing that to my attention again, but I definitely missed that. We did talk about breaking through 27. Last time I took like $2 on Zoom, and then it went 10. So yeah, not a great read for me there on Zoom that day, but yeah, it's looking like it's good. I'm really liking Rocket Mortgage. I talked about switching out of some JP Morgan, but I should have got out at 118. Okay, 113, still really high. I'm just very nervous about some of these stocks heading into COVID round 10 or whatever it is right now, as cases just blowing up here. So I'm really nervous about some of these financials. But with Rocket Mortgage's last report, it was absolutely fantastic. So I am definitely interested in that. Palantir, one more go before I go here. What? Oh God, now there's size on the offer on Palantir. I want to get long a little bit ahead of 15 and use 15 as the bottom. I just want to give you guys that update, because if it does fall, I'll get long, you know, maybe some in the teens and then some in the O's, and then we'll watch it if it breaks 15, and then we'll get out. But Palantir, the only negative stock today, Neil, for me is Palantir. You guys can see all the bottom, the Apple, Fisker, Bitcoin, Hertz, Li Auto. I'm looking at the screen. Microsoft, Neo, Workhorse, and XPEV. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're 9 for 10 today, guys. Hallelujah.
I see you, Rock Doc. I brought Acre to you guys' attention, but like I said a little bit earlier when I covered it, there just wasn't necessarily a trend. I know it broke through the bottom. I was talking about maybe shorting it, but there were some bigger and better fish to fry when it came to the retracement trade. Boeing, spoke prematurely about it breaking through the high of the day. It actually tested the high and got about 5 cents away before pulling back in. So Boeing still has yet to break through the top. I am still going to hold through that top. It looks like, and this is the top since the open. I'm not talking about anything in the pre-market. It is 181.34 when it breaks through the high. I think there's a bit of a run. It's double topping right now. It's giving you dips into VWAP and giving nice little wins every single time it does. So I see no reason to stray away from that plan and buy dips in Boeing and then hold on through potential breaks. We've been talking about this one since a bit of a jailbreak on the daily chart. You can see what happened here at 160 off of the 50 period as well. And then basically every little dip, and I would probably stop buying if it ever got, like if things got really, really ugly, maybe there's a big time delay on the max coming back into the fray, or we get below that like 160 mark, I would stop doing day trades, dip buying that stock. But for now, Boeing has worked several days in a row doing this, so keep going, rinse and repeat until it stops working. Hasn't happened yet. Brennan, what's up, buddy?
Talking about Revolve earlier, this LV was kind of grinding along this 2040 area, 2050, finally broke through there. You can see volume picking up a little bit again. Another earnings name, aftermarket yesterday. Earnings not great, but this thing's held in pretty strong all day. Grinding back to the upside, needs to get above that pivot, which is basically 21. If we get above 21, might have some room for LV. Guys, coming up in just a couple of minutes, in fact, we're really happy to have Brent Suwan, President and Executive Chairman of Logic. Going to be an interesting discussion in the same space as Wix, the online kind of e-commerce website building space. So we'll talk to Brent coming up here in a few minutes, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And coming up in like 15, 20 minutes, as Brendan mentioned, every now and then you're going to make a bit of a keystroke, or you're going to see that it might have disappeared, my Sino short. But look, I accidentally went to put an adjustment to my stop. I get out of position. Because we have direct market access, it wasn't that difficult. I mean, it's not moving around too fast, so I just sort of jumped back in. Now, it takes a little bit of like mental acuity to remember I was shorting off at 238. I'm not going to change my mentality just because I'm now in and out at a new price. It's going to show 231, but I'm just getting back into the position that I had before. My plan is going to remain the same, work it all the way down to 210. I'm not going to adjust my stop because essentially all I did is pay a few fees to jump back into this position. So if you see an adjustment in the price, that's all it was. I bungled a stop order there. I want to get back over the fuel tech. This name has been a good one so far, at least in terms of the breakout long. The second short does remain to be seen. It's still holding below this 130. That's going to be my out, like I said. And I'm adding to this position if it breaks down below VWAP. I will not add above. I will only add if it continues its flush. So that's a case where instead of averaging down, I want to average up, as they say. So as your price gets better and goes in the money, that's when I will add to my position and not the other way around. It's not that you couldn't in this situation. I do have a hard stop here. It's just that already has led to trouble in the pre-market. I didn't do it here. Stay disciplined. The second short and the breakout long was fantastic. But I don't want to be digging into fuel cell. It's 2 days in a row that it's been rather bullish, I want to say. So there's been some buying that's come into this stock, both in the morning and sometimes in the afternoon as well. But I'm going to have a look to the short side, at least for now. Just to get you guys back over to Sundial. There was a large bid, but all things in perspective, it's done almost 100 million shares, and I don't know if I can scroll up far enough. Trust me when I tell you, it was about 750,000 shares on the bid, but that is less than 1% of the total volume on the day. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to get out more just because I saw a bid down there. I am still going to take more short when it breaks 33. A million shares isn't that big when a stock is done 100 million. And if you think about it from a notional value standpoint, 750,000 shares on a 33-cent stock, it's just not expensive to take that out. It's just not a lot of dollars. It's not an expensive thing to break. So it's not that significant. It'll look huge on a level 2, but I'm not going to be scared off of it. I'm going to hang on to this short and actually take more when it breaks.
All right, we're looking around here, and yeah, guys, Fisker, the only position we have left right now. We did get out of our Apple there as it does break through VWAP, so no problem. And it looks like net, I could see. I can't see on the bottom. Oh, here's Hydration Nation, by the way, guys. I was just looking at the bottom to see how much net per P&L we're up, but drink your water. Shout out to Mr. Wheelie Man. Shout out to Shob, our doctor. I haven't seen Jarhead, but shout out to you guys. Shout out to Arun, Captain Pew Pew, also drinking the waters as well. Yeah, we're just looking around here. Trump aide said to be stepping back from stimulus negotiations. So I think that's maybe part of why we're starting to head back downside here a little bit. We're going to try to find some more trades for you. I did want to check in on Alibaba. We're long yesterday. I'm starting to wonder if this market is getting ready to tip, man. We're long at 262 on Baba, so it's okay. But I'm just thinking it's getting ready. I saw you on here searching life. You're respecting, here we go. You respect my wisdom. Thank you so much for that. Like, look, I'm going to trade for you guys, and I'm going to try to make calls, make the show entertaining, make it as best as you can. Thank you so much for that little shout out there. And no, to answer your question, I do not think Palantir is a good investment here at 15. If you're playing for earnings, I mean, that's what your question was. Should you play for earnings? I have no idea what their earnings are going to be. Okay, so that's why, remember where we put the buy on here, Searching Life? We put the buy down here, $9, right? So we got long once down at $9.50 on some of these breaking spots. This, to me, $10. This is what we're looking for, right? I did the same on Smile Direct, which I'll show to you in a minute. $10, right? That's where it sort of got its base off of an early call, right? Early stock. It breaks out from that. He touched 17 today, and now we're going to go watch Smile Direct. I'm going to do the same thing right now on Smile Direct for you. That's a NASDAQ stock. This was a little different. It just reminds me of the same thing because of the fact that it was a relatively new company. But this was the thing. This was back here, guys, back in March and April. So again, it's kind of like back in the teeth where everything went up. So we could talk about that. I more want to talk about this spot right here on Smile Direct, right? This is what you're looking for. Some consolidations here. Let me draw this. Some consolidations downside. And then the break, right? So as soon as you break through here, not only that, you had the 50 period here too. So 8:30 was a great call here on Smile Direct. So we did make those calls as well, but now you're going to the upside 12, 15, look, before coming back down. So this is the kind of spot that we're looking for. I thought we found it on Palantir, and now that you're looking at Palantir, you don't get it at 15, right? So it's got to pull back. I don't advise it right now. Rolling records, everybody loves the knowledge. Look, Sometimes it's knowledge, sometimes it's something else. What's up, Brendan?
Another one just popping out here. Grow Generations, 11.5% now. Through the highs, just tested through day highs there. Watch out for these levels from aftermarket yesterday. 2380, 2390-ish, but yeah, just a new day high there for GRWG.
And Brendan, you remember, what did we call, or what did I call Grow Generation? Do you remember, Brendan?
Depot of
Weed. Good,
Right.
perfect. Yes, the Home Depot of marijuana, GRWG. Brendan remembers it, and I hope you guys do too. This was a call again, guys. Thank you again for the love in the chat. I see it. It's great. Whoa, watch out. Those of you that have watched the show know that I've called GRWG. I called this a week ago, guys, GRWG. Look at the chart. That's why we know that this is the marijuana company, Home Depot. Get your solar plants, get your lights, get your plants, get everything from Grow Generation brand. We are hella long Grow Generation, myself as well. I hope you are. Let's go.
Electra, a new one there, a number one fan. We always appreciate the super chats, of course, and we want to make sure that you guys are getting your education on. You want to see the thoughts that are going through each and every single one of these trades. And I want to say, I said it one more time on Boeing. Under normal circumstances, you have a stock that's down 0.5%, the market's struggling to get to the upside. I would be at 11:30 going into lunchtime. I would be usually thinking about shorting a stock like this in front of the high of the day. It gave you all the reasons why I had a long bias on Boeing, and this is why I'm holding along through the high, and I'm only dip buying the stock. So yes, I would normally be holding or getting into a short. I would have just got blown out of a short position. Instead, I'm holding along. It's about $1.20 in the money. In terms of upside targets here, this is and you've heard Sean say this a couple of times, and this daily chart is, apologies for it not loading. We'll go to the 15 so you can see something here. If we break through this 183 to the upside, this is what I'm looking for. All the way down in the close, double top at 194, all the way down right to this little consolidation level. Now if we can break 183, this is what I mean about let it ride. It probably has a chance to get to like 185, 186. Another level we were working with this week. That'll give you like a $4 or $5 winner, a breakthrough there, and then testing that double top. I think we'll probably run into trouble. You know, I might short if it gets to that price this week or early next week. Either way, it's going to be continuously buying dips. We did it off of that 185 level to some success yesterday. Now today it's the same thing. Only the trend is much, much stronger. Yesterday was a downtrend. We made money buying a dip. Today it's an upward trend, which is obviously a little bit easier on the stomach.
Yeah, for sure, guys. We're still going crazy today. I mean, it's been a big, huge day. I hope you guys like all of the winners, everything coming through here, guys, today. It's been a big, big day. We do have coming up, we've talked about this, and it's in 10 minutes right now. Logic. We're going to see them president and chairman. We're going to get some ideas, new company, new space. Let's see what they're running. That's in 10 minutes. Stay tuned for that as we go, guys. We can go back over to the marijuana space and have a quick look. Right now, Fisker, though, that's a big stock for me. We only got one time. No dip buys, no nothing. We should have probably dip buyed here at 1484, guys, to the downside. So we will see if this one is going. But right now, guys, we are going to wait to see Fisker making new highs, hopefully 1540. We'll see if it can test it to the upside right now. 1540 still coming through. But yeah, it's been a monster day, guys. You can see the profits at the bottom. We're 9 for 10. Like, we've traded 10 names today, and we've won on 9 of them. So it's been a big day for yours truly. Hopefully we'll come back tomorrow and get even bigger for you. I don't know if we can beat 90%. That's pretty good. But we'll be back coming tomorrow. Let's let this Fisker ride right now. We can check out some AMD when we get back. What's up, Brendan?
Haven't talked about it yet today, which is kind of surprising. Candy Technologies, 6% just popped up here. Nice little hold of 650, prior resistance, now support, back to day highs here. No news on KNDI, but nice look so far. Just about to make a day high for KNDI, guys.
I say it every single time because it's a line that I'm fond of from a movie. Candy makes you dandy. And if anyone knows where that one is from, congratulations, you have watched one of the funniest movies of all time. I will go back over to this Acre. So I did mention, look, I talked about this, so you can rewind the tape, why I wasn't going to necessarily play in it. It was a good short off of that 235. And now I think it could be one of those afternoon sort of long plays. As long as it doesn't break 220, I think at 130, maybe 230, you can start thinking about a 240 break. You want it to hold that channel ideally, sort of coil itself up, as it were, and then make a bit of a break back over to the upside. So that was a new one. It's not just about the watch list because that halt happened just before the open, so we couldn't get it on the list. But we made sure we told you all about it and got that one to you in real time. As I said, I really don't have a target in Boeing. It is continuing its break to the upside, obviously, as you can see here. I'm just going to let it ride. I'm not adjusting my stop yet, but I can cancel this bid. I mean, if it comes back from here to VWAP, I probably don't want to get back into more long, so I'll just go ahead and cancel that bid. Don't need it to fill on me out of nowhere. But if we continue this push to the upside and get past that 182.50 to 183 mark, then I would trail it a little bit here. So 180 long, we've had it a couple of times here on the dip. The only mistake was maybe not giving it enough room and taking out one of these long positions before getting back in a couple of times. So $1.50, almost $2 in the money. No trail yet, but I'll tell you guys when I do put that trailing stop on. SINO, I accidentally got out at 231. I got back in at 231. It was a 238 short. So in my head, I kind of know that, in terms of actual cost base, I am still technically in the money on this trade, and nothing has changed. I will still give it back up to 240 because I know my entry is essentially like a 238, guys, and I just got in and out at that 31. And as you can see, I'll cover it all the way down to 2 even, where I will definitely 100% be flat. Even if it breaks 2 and crashes to the bottom, I just don't care. I will be out of that one. As far as Sundial goes, it's different. I mentioned this. There was and someone asked me, like, why wouldn't you consider long, or it's a great bid, it's a good buy down here, it's got support. Yes. And one of the things about why I like to short through this price is everyone and their mother that's trading this thing and is holding the bag long is excited about that big bid at 33 and the fact that it's made a nice little bottom for them. So what do you think is going to happen when it breaks that 33? It's probably going to be a bit of a parabolic mover to the downside. You do have to watch to make sure it continues through 30 cents. But on a penny stock, even just from that break down to this little low here that you saw at the end of the day yesterday, that's a 10% move. And if you break past that, it gets really, really ugly. So that's the reason why I like it even more as it tests that level, and I want to make sure that I expose myself to some of that bigger downside action on Sundial.
Yeah, good explanation on Sundial right there. We're in the EV space right here with Fisker. And yeah, we're unplugging. I should have unplugged some of my sales here on Fisker. If you're joining us late, we've been hammering this one. My best trades today, obviously, XPEV 42, still ripping, man, high side. NEO, still ripping, high side as well. It's been a big day, man, and thank you again for all of the super chats that's come through today. Thank you for all the memberships that have joined today, and we're going to be back tomorrow. True Leave. I did want to take a quick look at marijuana quickly because 7:30. We're still. Oh, actually, I canceled this. That almost got filled. Did I? No, I didn't cancel. Wow. We almost got filled at a buy here coming up to VWAP, but then it bounced back. So this could be a decent bottom if you're looking to go long on a cannabis name. I would not choose ACB. I would choose Canopy. So I like Canopy growth here as a much, much better play. Although you already saw Grow Generations upside, huge trade there for me on Grow Generations as well for the long-term portfolio. But right here, CGC making moves. Check out the daily chart here. It's pulling back a little bit yesterday down to 22, 23, but now today looking to take out. I'd go long again. I'm still long this name in my own account, but 26.50 is a great break spot here. Could happen in the next couple days. I think as soon as Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are like cemented in their electoral college there, once that's all sorted out, I think we'll get another pop once again in some of these cannabis names, guys.
That's the thing. You sort of have to be waiting a little bit because no one really knows exactly when things are going to settle when it comes to the final call on the election. But as it is, you still have to trade the market as you see it. I talked a little bit about Li Auto possibly pulling back in here. This is the one that's reporting earnings after market. Of course, you've already seen XPEV earnings, the entire space moving off of that, but there was one pullback into VWAP, so watch for this 28.50, which is now held a couple of times here. That would be sort of that floodgate price in the afternoon that if it breaks, I'd take a quick little short off it. If it consolidates shy of 30 again, I think I would go short in that regard. And the only reason why I've stayed away from shorting this entire space, I mean, there was obviously some breakout trades, and we're talking about XPeng levels and dip buys for all those names all morning. Usually I would short when something is this strong. I wait for an actual pullback, and I think that's already happened on Li Auto, so now I can think about it. One thing that we have to think about here is we got to 2,000 likes really, really early yesterday. I feel like it was no trouble getting to it. I haven't seen any of those. I haven't seen any of that stuff today. We're about to do a fantastic interview. I know you guys pay attention. You always learn something when we get one of these interviews. But Valeria, how are we doing? Because I haven't even seen any of those graphics pop up.
Thank you, Neil. Hey guys, we're doing fine, but you know, we're spending every morning together as the real family, and family members are supposed to support each other. So please, if you didn't do this yet, hit the thumbs up. Back to you, Neil.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Dan McIsaac. I hope that, you know, and again, if you're trading in that sundial, I know you were talking about that earlier. It's not my intention to influence your trade. You know, do what you got to do there. I mean, if you have a different look at that 33 level that I was talking about, that's all fair and games. All we're here to do is tell you what we're thinking, the positions that we have on, and what we see both in the market, on level 2, on the charts, just how we view what's going on in front of us. So, you know, take it for your own, take it how you like it. You don't have to follow along with everything that we do here, but I just want to make sure you guys are taking advantage of what we are seeing and sometimes what we don't. I want to go quickly, if I can, back over to Boeing. I know we're going to have our guest in just a few seconds, so I want to make sure we cover this this last. It's breaking up towards 182, so it's an even dollar level. If it breaks here, I talked about 182.50 to 183. It's going to start to be close to where I would put a trail in. There's no way I want to give it all the way back to break even. I know we've done some nice scalping on Boeing so far, and we're trying to hold it just a little bit longer. But, you know, let's not get too crazy here. Let's make sure I can lock in at least like $1.50 in the event that we get a top break, which just happened here in Boeing. So now over $2 in the money. Now I'm going to look to trail this one first back over to this 181.35, which was the previous high that just got taken out. So it can't be anything worse than a $1.25 winner on Boeing, and we'll let the rest ride here, Sean.
Okay, guys, and we're just going to do this one more time before we go to our interview. Sometimes you got to be like this a little bit. You're 9 for 10 on the day, and it's time to enjoy a little bit of fruit salad here. Today's fruit salad brought to you again by the tasty grapes that continue to be mouth-watering here. I don't know where our caterer is getting said grapes, but the grapes, the pineapple, very good today as well as the cantaloupe. So everything going really well today. Fisker, the last trade that we have on right now, that's 25 cents in the money. I'm getting ready to enjoy the interview. I think it's going to be a good one. Yeah, so we're just chilling out right now, watching Fisker, obviously breaking highs on the daily chart and looking to make some more cash there. Palantir, guys, goes down to where I'm bidding 08. It went down to 10s, was the best fill. So I'm going to go long here on Palantir again if we can get that. I did want to give a big thank you again, obviously, to Dan there today for this super chat. Thank you so much, Dan. I mean, you've been a huge help for me, and I know that we've been talking back and forth. And then Mark as well, new member, and new member to Craig Johnson as well. Thank you so much, guys and girls, and all of our members. We wouldn't have the show without you. It's been so fantastic. And yeah, thank you for all the continued love on the chat, guys. It's been a big show. We are ready for guest of the day. We'll throw it right now to Brennan. Got the feet up, ready to enjoy this. Let's go.
Hey guys, yeah, very excited to have our latest company profile, Brent Suen, Chairman and President and Executive Chairman, I should say, of Logic, joining us today. A brand new entrant into the space we mentioned a little bit earlier. We've been teeing it up all morning. So glad to have you with us this morning, Brent. We appreciate you taking the time. Why don't we start with a little bit of a backstory, maybe? Tell us a little bit about Logic, where the concept came from, and how it got started.
Sure. Thanks, Brendan. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we are good.
Okay, terrific. Nice being on. I'm tempted to quit my day job now and start trading, seeing that you guys have a 90% win ratio today.
Love it.
Yeah, onwards to Logic. So a very quick view on who we are and what we do. We are an e-commerce enabler. We like to use the moniker, the Shopify of mobile. I think everyone knows Shopify and has certainly seen the trajectory of their shares over the years. Although we like to say that, I think there's some clear differences between Logic, what we do, and some of the big success stories in e-commerce like Shopify, BigCommerce, Wix, GoDaddy. Those companies essentially enable small businesses to get their offline business online. So that's what they do. But if you look at where they focus, it's predominantly North America, Europe, mostly developed markets, where 80% of those populations have desktop and laptop computers. we focused over the past 5 years on emerging markets, where it's the actual inverse of what we see, here in the States, where only about 20% or less of the people have desktop and laptop computers. So why is that important? Well, our platform to get a small business online is built on the phone. It's an app that resides on the phone, and all of the customers of these businesses that get online use the phone to access it. So that is completely different than how the big e-commerce enablers that are the big cap winners here go about their business. So that's one major differentiation. We've grown through some acquisitions over the years. We cover the spectrum from micro and small businesses in emerging markets, all the way up to some very good sized publicly traded e-commerce companies that are our customers by way of an acquisition we made earlier this year. And then a smaller one we just made has also onboarded some very well-known names as customers.
Yeah, we can jump into that as well. I want to back up a little bit here, because you gave me that number the other day when it comes to the emerging markets and how many people are not actually sitting in front of a desktop like it seems like everyone is today. Sure. In North America, anyways. But 80% almost on the other side. It's kind of the flip side. So when it comes to, you mentioned Wix, you mentioned the Shopifys of the world. Was that a specific number, I guess, or a figure that factored into the decision to target those specific markets instead of a North America?
I wish I was that smart to say that all of that was my brainchild. When we started out, we started by way of an acquisition of a business in Singapore named Create App, which was and still is 100% mobile. We liked the platform they had built because they had captured about 10% of the entire small business market in Singapore, which is a relatively small nation state. But then we looked around the region, and just for context, I was working in Asia for 15 years. So when we started Logic, I looked around the region at growth scenarios. Singapore being a focal point of Southeast Asia, which covers about 700 million people. The upside of that market is that you've actually got upwards of 90% smartphone penetration. So although the number I use in terms of desktop use in Southeast Asia is only 20%, the actual mobile penetration from smartphones is considerably higher. Some countries that are a little more developed in Asia, believe it or not, they actually have 150% penetration, meaning most people have more than one phone. So that part of the equation is extremely compelling. But we started on the mobile side, and we still focus on the mobile side. And
that's going to be the key, the attainability and the spread of the actual mobile devices, which is a great number. You mentioned the platform. Let's dig into that a little bit. As far as what is available on the platform, what's maybe top of the mind as far as what's most exciting and what people will be most interested in when it comes to that?
Sure. Okay. So just framing it in context, when we go out to micro and small businesses, these are predominantly 1 and 2 and 3 person shops, not small businesses like what we're used to in North America, where you've got 5, 10 people or more. These are people who spend all day long working at their business. They don't have time to think about building an app to get online. Although they realize the importance of being online because everyone walking around has a mobile phone, they don't necessarily know how to do it. So simplicity and ease of use was number one. So our platform is very simple. It enables literally anyone with zero IT experience to have their own app up and running in 2 hours or less. Some people have done it in as little as 10 minutes, and then they're up on either on Android or iOS. So what type of functionality does that give a small business? Everything they need and more. They can market and promote their business to their existing customers. They can reach out to new ones. There's location-based services. So if you want to get sophisticated about it and program it to where your customers are within a certain radius, you can ping them with specials of the day. promotions, et cetera. There's multiple payment gateways. Also, interestingly, in emerging markets, upwards of 50% of the population do not have bank accounts, in as much as 90% do not have credit cards. So you need what's called an e-wallet. Here in North America, we know Apple Pay, and we know Square, we know the other ones that are well known, PayPal. But in emerging markets, there are dozens of them. So we actually enable all of them. And we also have our own e-wallet, which is known as PayLogic, which is up and running in Indonesia. And we've recently struck a partnership with a government agency that currently serves about 48 million people in country. So they'll be onboarding our platform. And so the scale that we believe is at hand is immense. Just framing that, we've only got 130,000 customers in Indonesia. Now we've got access to 48 million. Even at call it 10% traction, you're looking at roughly 40x where we are currently. So there's a tremendous amount of upside.
You mentioned a number of the services currently available on the platform. Anything investors need to be aware of as far as maybe something that's in the pipeline that you're excited about?
Yes, if you look at our news, we've just completed an acquisition of a company based in Tel Aviv named Fixel AI. Without going into granular detail, essentially what this does is this is an element of tracking user behavior across multiple websites and devices that I said I wouldn't be too granular, but essentially, when we go on a website, there are what are called third-party cookies, which basically track what we do. Other e-commerce companies want access to that data so that they can target ads to us. Third-party cookies are going away, but what Fixel has brought in is a very unique way of tracking user behavior across all different types of devices. And it doesn't matter if you've got third-party cookies installed. Just to frame it in simple terms, is this something that customers want, and what do those customers look like? Absolutely. With the acquisition of Fixel, we got Cox Automotive, which is part of Cox Media. I believe they're about a $25 billion North American based enterprise that our customers are Kelley Blue Book and Auto Trader. So we've essentially got 60% of the US automotive market that's using our product. We also got Purple Mattresses, whom, if you're not familiar with, they did their IPO in July. They've got about a $1.5 billion market cap on NASDAQ. They were quoted on our recent press release on the acquisition of Fixel. We've also got several others, which are household names and publicly traded companies. This is important because not only are they buying into it, and not only do they have big budgets to spend, but there are a tremendous number of lookalikes similar to those that we are going after, and you'll start to see coming on board as things proliferate. What that tells investors is that the credibility from the customer side is significant. So, although we may not be a household name like the Shopify's, the big commerces of the world, our customers certainly are, and they do a tremendous amount of due diligence to arrive upon a decision to use us. So, segueing to what an investor would look for, I would absolutely hope that investors look at our customer base and who we're working with.
And Brent, I want to expand on that a little bit. We had a discussion the other day in regards to the structure of the board of the company and being, the stability behind what is happening when it comes to Logic. Why don't you touch on that a little?
Sure. Thanks, Brendan. So from the onset, when we started out, whether it was our CFO to all of our independent board directors, the idea in mind, even when we started, was to build out a platform that when we get to the point where the institutional community starts to look at us, those boxes are very easily checked. Same thing on the customer side. It is very important to know that a smaller business has all the elements of corporate governance and financial transparency, and certainly management and board know-how and expertise and tenure. To give a flavor, on the management side, We run the gamut from having a CFO who is deputy chairman of a very large New York Stock Exchange traded company on his resume. He was also a senior partner at Deloitte's corporate finance unit. Our chief of staff, John McNeil, was a portfolio the portfolio manager at Schroders Global Tech Fund. So we've got significant capital markets expertise. I started my career at Bear Stearns. I was on the risk arbitrage desk for 6 years. So I understand capital markets very well. On the tech side, we've got C-level executives and project managers who have been at Ubisoft, Yahoo, Siebel Systems, IBM Tivoli, Rubicon, LiveRamp, and Axiom. So, what does that tell you? It tells you that management has tenure anywhere from as little as 15 years to as many as 30 years working in an industry that they know very well as senior level executives and project managers. On the board side, look at our independent board. It is comprised of people who are professionals in their respective industries that you would commonly see at much larger companies. Well, how did we attract them? I'd like to say I'm friends with them, but that's only part of the story. The real story is that they believe in our business model. They believe that the fiduciary duties that they carry out, and they believe that their history, whether it's on the investment banking side, one of our board directors led Lehman Brothers Asia investment banking for many years, and he took public the first Chinese internet companies on the NASDAQ, and he's done over his tenure multiple hundreds of billions of dollars in transactions. We've also got the president of RTI Cable, which is an undersea cable network funded by Google and NEC. Josh Jacobs, who recently joined us, was former president of Omnicom, which is one of the top 3 ad agencies in the world. And then Ross O'Brien was the former head of The Economist, which I'm sure everyone knows is a major media publication. And he's also been a telecom consultant for 25 years in Asia.
Brent, I don't want to cut you off. I just want to make sure we get to the stock. We showed the pink sheets listing, the OTC market listing, a couple of times here, guys. If you want to check it out, LGIQ on the OTC markets. Tell us about the upcoming IPO right here in Toronto on the NEO Exchange.
Definitely. So just to clarify, we're not on the pink sheets. We are on the OTCQX, which is the highest tier of that market, alongside companies like Adidas, BNP Paribas, and a number of major pharmaceuticals like Roche Holdings, et cetera. We are doing an IPO on the NEO. It is a long form prospectus that will be led by an investment bank, which we'll be talking about relatively soon. So it will be an actual IPO. And so we're aiming for early to mid-December. We've already gotten our prospectus into shape where we should be submitting it shortly. I don't want to violate any Reg FD, but on our last public announcement, we did indicate that things are underway, and we expect those to happen very quickly. Shortly thereafter, in Q1 of next year, we've also indicated that we will initiate what's called an exchange-to-exchange program, that the Canadian exchange will go to the New York Stock Exchange and apply on our behalf to cross-list there. So we will then uplist from the OTCQX to the NYSE, and then be cross-listed on the Canadian NEO Exchange and the NYSE.
Going to be an exciting time. Going to be an exciting next couple of weeks and next couple of months. Brent Suen, President and Executive Chairman of Logic, joining us today, guys. We have a couple of questions, Brent, that we want to get to from our audience. We're going to throw you over to Neil.
Brent, thank you for coming on here. And I feel like we do have a question from our audience, and I just want to make sure that we get it answered. But you mentioned, I'm a baseball fan, so the murderer's row of the management team and the board. So that probably might give a bit of an answer to this question here from Greg, one of our viewers. Given your focus on penetrating in Singapore and emerging markets, I'm assuming we're talking about, are there any challenges from a regulatory standpoint with that focus in emerging markets? And because the answer could be no, if I can quickly add a follow-up. in terms of possible hurdles and timelines for catalysts, obviously, when it comes to trading, is there anything that you can share with us on that end?
Okay, thanks, Neil. That's a good question from Greg. Actually, we are more focused around Indonesia as an emerging market because there's over 250 million people there. Regulatory, we have all the licensing in place. And by way of our recent announcement with their equivalent of the Social Security Administration there, we have a significant inroad to the necessary government agencies for any endeavors that we embark on. We take the same approach to other emerging markets. It has not been a roadblock by any means. So that's always something we're cognizant of as we identify emerging markets. As far as near-term catalysts, people ask me all the time, why should we buy your stock? I certainly can't tell you why, but in terms of near-term catalysts, I think if you look at what we've talked about publicly and where we are in the process, I think the big one is the IPO and the NEO. Concurrent with that, some of the announcements we've made recently with big partners and customers have led to a number of incoming calls from private equity funds, VCs, and then as it relates to the the public markets, fund managers on the institutional side who are taking a strong look at us. And what they see first and foremost is that our valuation currently is about 2 times revenues. If you look at the valuation benchmarks of our peers, they're about 20 to 30 times revenues. And so are we undervalued? Yes. How do we cross that? How do we get to that higher level? Well, I think the IPO absolutely does that. And I think the increasing frequency of incoming calls by institutional investors will ramp that up. And certainly venues like yours, Neil, where we're getting continued market awareness will absolutely get people to take a look at us. And on the intermediate side, they see all the hallmarks of a company that should fit their investment parameters from a shorter term perspective. I think on the technical side, crossing a few near-term price points should propel us higher. That's what I would use to address that. So I hope I answered your question, certainly, Greg.
Very, very well. Thank you, Brent,
Thanks,
for that great explanation. In fact, it's been a pleasure. I mean, a very exciting space, a very interesting space that will only continue to expand and grow as the weeks come. I hope you'll come back, Brent, and give us an update when the NEO listing gets off and running. We wish you nothing but the best, and good to speak to you today.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
There you go. Brent Suen, President and Executive Chairman of Logic. Yeah, set to list right here in Toronto, guys, on the NEO exchange. Going to be an exciting one. When that does happen, we'll have to have Brent back on, guys.
Try to learn a little something, and when it does come to the NEO, probably something we'll be checking out, guys. We're past the noon, of course. You can see a fun and fantastic interview to take us to there. So just to sort of wrap things up, I'll let you know that I did cover that Boeing, so I am all out of it. It did break into that 184 to 185 range, so we'll go ahead and take the $450 winner as it does turn around right in that target area. So I like the dip buy on Boeing. We've been talking about it. It's a good winner, but we got to get to earnings before we get out of here. So let's go back to Brennan.
We're running over a little bit, but that's okay. It's just past 12. Let's throw up the board here, guys, and have a look what's coming up. Wow, there's a lot coming up. Yeah, the big one's down there in the corner, Sean. Your mic.
Tonight, I don't think I'll be sleeping that well tonight as, Palantir is going to be on board. Disney, I think, just rocketed over to my highest holding as well, my largest position. So Disney will be a good one tonight as well, hoping for a good one. And, lots of names on board. Neil, wrap this thing up.
Yeah, we got Blink on there as well. But it's been a good session. Thank you, everybody, for your participation and for all the Super Chats. Of course, as always, we do love all the support that you give us. For the entire team, want to go down the line for you guys here. Valeria doing a fantastic job moderating that chat. My man Sean Catino looking sharp in that haircut. For Brennan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you tomorrow.